And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the podcast, Josh Evangelista. Yes!
Thanks, Pax.
Finally!
Finally?
Oh my goodness.
I actually wasn't expecting na maimbita ako rito.
Hindi pwede. Kailangan kasama yun. Kasi para sa atin to eh.
I know.
Yun nga lang, na-overwhelmed kami because sabi ko nga, and ito mga kinikwento ko sa'yo, for the record, hindi natin to pinag-usapan kanina. Nag-usap na tayo kanina, di ba? But sabi namin ni na Michael, ni na JJ, may mga tao tayong iimbitahin sa first, sa second, sa third.
Mm-hmm.
Like sa second episode, sa second season, si Pambansang Kolokoy inimbita namin doon.
Yeah, nakita ko yun.
Pero inimbita na namin si Pambansang Kolokoy nung magsa-start pa lang ang Paco's Place.
Right.
Sabi niya, akala ko naman hindi na ako kasali. Like you, ganun din. Ang point namin kasi, we had to first get the subscribers.
Yeah.
Build the audience.
I understand.
Because sayang yung content pag napunta sa wayside eh.
Yeah. Okay.
Para si Dennis Diaz, another gearhead.
Yeah.
Pwede naman siyang imbitahin sa sa ibang season, pero he was in a season where siya ang ng Pinoy gearheads and ganon and all that stuff. But it's good to have you.
Thanks, brother. Honestly, I wasn't minessage ako ni Michael Abad. Sabi ko, really? I can invite? Okay, I don't even know what to share.
Alat. Ang dami namin mapupulot sa'yo. First of all, simulan natin sa Makati Nights.
Okay.
Kasi walang hiya yun. Nalasing ako nung unang Makati
the
Nights.
First one.
Pakuha ng selfie dun sa...
Ako, nagulat ako. Sabi pa ako nandito. Sabi ko kay George, diba? George Garcia, our friend.
Kasi back-to-back kayong dalawa nun eh.
Yeah, kami nag-organize dalawa. Mm-hmm. Nakita ko lang, sabi ko, Paco there, I didn't know nagpa-party siya. Kami club. So, sabi ko, kasama niya, wife niya. Sabi ko, okay. So, great.
So, hindi mo nakita si JJ?
Hindi ko na matanda si JJ.
Naalala mo yun, Jay? Yung tayo ni na Brian.
Yeah.
Tapos nagpapakuha pa tayo ng selfie dun
sa Hotel Indigo.
Sa Hotel Indigo.
Yeah.
And then nagtako pa tayo nung gabi na hindi ko na alam kung saan kami nagtako. Sabi ko.
Sobrang kalasingan.
Sabi ko, saan ba tayo kumain ng tako? Sa Glendale.
That was a fun night, di ba?
It was.
Yeah.
Hanggang ngayon, dumarating pa rin yung email dun sa selfie.
Sorry. Stop mo na lang. Ima-manual ko na lang.
Pag-usapan natin yun.
Okay.
Makati Nights.
Yeah.
Tapos George Garcia, kayo.
Yeah.
I mean, parang natuwa ako nung nagsama kayong dalawa. Because tayong dalawa, Facebook friends na tayo eh.
Right.
And then si George, kasama namin si George pag nagko-concert kami dati, 2007.
I didn't even know that.
See, kanina, di ba sabi ko sa'yo, ang intro voice, we normally collaborate with DJs.
Right.
So, ang style namin ng 2007, George, Knitting Factory tayo.
Yeah.
So, kami headline, ikaw ang in-between.
So, pag patay, siya ang
si
tutugtog.
George.
Yeah, okay.
Ganon, yun ang style namin.
Yeah.
And then yung last song niya, dudukutin namin.
Yeah, magsisegue kayo doon.
Ganon. Okay. So, paano nangyari yung inyong bonding for Makati Nights?
Well, kasi nung dumating ako 2001 here, I went, DJ ako sa Philippines. It's a club called Venetia.
Okay.
So, it was owned by Louis Ismael, who is considered
Louis Y, no?
Louis Y, the disco king ng Philippines.
Penthouse.
Right. So, nung umalis ako noon, cold turkey, kasi nag-move ako rito, I want to pursue my degree. I'm a lab scientist, clinical lab scientist by profession. So, when I went here, I was trying to find a way to entertain myself kasi cold turkey, no, walang clubbing. Yes. So, I saw this friend ko na merong uma-attend siya ng mga parties sa Beverly Hills. And George was promoting a night there. So,
ano yung mga party ni George yung mga panahon na yun?
So, ang tawag niya ron, Flow.
Flow, yes.
Right.
Nakapunta pa kami sa Flow, yeah.
See, there you go. So, he was organizing it at this small bar.
Right.
Very nice, posh bar sa may Beverly Hills. So, nagpunta ako doon and nakita ko. Sabi ko, okay daming tao. And the music is upfront, bago.
Yes.
So, what I did was, I approached him. Nagpakilala ako. Sabi ko, I'm Josh pala. Obviously, medyo I had to brag myself a little bit kasi bago ako rito. Sabi ko, I'm a DJ at this and that. Obviously, kasi George moved here earlier.
Yeah. Kaya, mas bata sa atin yun eh.
Yeah. Kaya sinabi niya sa akin na, sige, sabi ko na I'm DJing sa Philippines and kakadating ko lang and all that. Sige, sabi niya, pag meron ako event na susunod, I'll have you guest. So I think yung third niya from the time that I saw him, sinalang na niya ako. Kaya nakatugtog ako doon.
Ikaw naman, yung catalog mo, saan mo kinuha? Because unang umalis ka rito, hindi naman intention maging DJ di ba?
Yeah.
So where did you get your
my music?
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, I'm one...
Napster.
Brother, I was gonna say, before I move, nagda-download na ako ng music.
Really?
Where every single DJ have not downloaded. So I know one guy na nagda-download. I'm not gonna say it, but he's selling the music. Selling it, he's burning in an MP. This was 1998.
Okay.
So
guilty rin ako dyan. Mga LimeWire, mga...
Exactly. So I download it and I share it with my friend DJs. So kasi even though Venetia was before, I was friends with the people who were playing in Giraffe.
Yeah.
Alam mo yung pangalan ng building na yun sa Makati?
Sa tabi ng Shangri-La.
Yung tabi ng Shangri-La. Yung sa may Starbucks.
Yes.
Yeah, so we go there after party. Kaya yun, sinishare ko rin yun. At back then, dala-dala ko yung catalog ko na iba. Dinala ko rito.
So nung time na hindi ako talaga nag-hangout sa Giraffe. Doon ako sa Starbucks, sa kanto ng Giraffe at saka
exactly.
Sa Glorieta Circle yun di ba?
6970 ba yun? Or I forgot.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yes. So, katabi ng Shangri-La.
Yeah.
Katapat ng Hard Rock.
Hard Rock, yeah. Glorieta. Greenbelt 3.
Yes.
Greenbelt 3 ba? Glorieta 3? Glorieta yun. So.
Kita mo mukha tayong dalawang... Sabihin ng mga audience natin, wow, really?
So, yeah. Yun, dala ko yung material ko na iba. And then that's what I used to play here. Obviously, some of them can't relate with the music here. Kasi iba yung pinapatugtog doon dito. Isipin mo, I was playing Sex Bomb there, di ba? Tsaka yung Laruso, for example. Tsaka Happy.
Yes.
So, they don't know that here. So, iba yung by play ko. Kaya nung nagdi-DJ ako for George, I felt very bad kasi I don't know kung nagustuhan ng crowd niya. And, they're used to his music back then. So, it was a fun experience. And then from there on, we hit along, tsaka nag-event na kami from that up until now. Although there was a lull time na huminto kami, hindi kami nagpap. Kasi he was busy promoting in the clubs here in LA.
Yes. So, ito ang tanong ko sa'yo. Yeah. Clinical lab scientist. Bakit hindi psychology kinuha mo?
Ewan ko, brother. Yun yung pinasok ko sa UST noon eh.
And the reason why I'm asking, and you're a DJ, and most DJs are good crowd readers.
Yeah.
So psychology
Kinda.
would have been
a very good prelude.
Diba?
Yeah.
Or parang gano'n. So let's talk about your crowd reading skills.
Yeah.
People take that for granted eh. Iniisip nila, magda-download ako ng DJ2 na app, bibili lang ako ng controller sa music store. Alam ko lang yung mga beats per minute, pwede na ako mag-spin. No way. It's more than that. Explain.
So, majority of my DJ life sa club kasi was in Cosmo Bar. So, I'm used to what you and George are doing.
Right.
Tugtog ako, tugtog banda. So, ang goal ko back then was after the band, isustain ko yung energy
yes.
Right? So, I have to play para mapasayo ko yung tao.
Yes.
Ang problema, yung sa banda, tsaka yung sa DJ music, back in Cosmo, hindi tugma eh. Magkaiba.
Mag-iba magre-retro.
Right. Isipin mo si Joe Hawaiian was playing something like, ano tawag dito? Hindi si Joe Hawaiian. Kasi paborito na, like sila Boji's Law of Gravity, they're gonna play there yung What You Won't Do for Life. Yung the usual thing. Tapos magpapatugtog kami ng Till They Take My Heart Away. Parang hindi, di ba? But, back then, those were popular songs.
Yeah.
So pag nagka-crowd read kami nung partner ko si Monching nun, we will just play the hits. I mean, just like anything, you play the hits, you will get them.
Right.
Obviously, ang tawag namin DJ, yung pag na-sustain mo na yung crowd, you can play sustainer songs. Sustainer songs are not really hits, but they can keep the people dancing.
Yes.
Right? Now, pag naubusan ka ng crowd, which we call nakakalbo na yung crowd, then mag-hits na naman kami. That's how we play around with the crowd and read.
And ang pressure nito, guys, and Josh, double down on this, you have to keep the crowd moving para mauhaw, mapagod, maging masaya.
And umorder.
Yung F&B, tumaas. Yung food and beverage, tumaas.
Yun ang purpose nun eh.
People think na, ano ba purpose ng DJ? Ano ba purpose ng banda? Hindi. Hindi lang para tumugtog. May main goal ka.
There's revenue involved. Income generating. So that was part of us. We were schooled on that too. Ng obviously the venues.
Can you share that with up and coming DJs and bands? Because sa industry namin, someone will come up to me, no? And wala naman ako shame to say this, but one time, yung kaibigan ko, si Howard Medina of Monumental by far.
Right.
So sabi niya, Kuya Pax, pwede ba kami mag-front act?
Mm-hmm.
Sabi ko, pwede.
Yeah.
Tapos biglang sabi niya, anong deal? Sabi ko, magbebenta kayo ng tickets.
Yeah.
Ilan tickets? 30 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tapos binigay ko ng 30 tickets.
Yeah, pumayag siya.
Oh, Kuya Pax, ilan minutes kami tutugtog? Sabi ko, 1 minute per ticket.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ha? Oo.
So,
paano pag isa lang mabenta namin? Ibig sabihin, isang tao lang nyo lang ang nasa audience, umakyat kayo ng stage, pasalamatan nyo yung audience na nanonood, bumaba na ulit kayo ng stage. But that's the same point, right? Because why would you get an act who cannot generate revenue?
Right.
So can you explain to the audience how it works talaga and how you were schooled in this?
So the same thing sa promotion na ginagawa mo. Like for us, we try to, like I said, sustain the crowd, make them dance, and enjoy yung dancing.
So alam niyo na kung sino may birthday.
Right.
Ilang taon yung taong may birthday.
So for
na
example,
yun.
sa Makati Nights, no? Majority of promoters know what they do. They're gonna invite people na magbe-birthday, like what you said, or they're celebrating a special occasion. We invite them. And at the same time, we also get people na we think brings crowd. It's part of the success of having an event.
Yes.
So if
Huwag ka mag-iimbita ng loner.
just like what you said with your show, if you have an established brand, you can put anyone you want there and have them play. And at the same time, may crowd ka na eh. It doesn't matter. But it's really hard when you're starting.
Yes.
Same thing when we're playing. It's not easy to make people, go to the dance floor. Even when they're doing an event, it's not easy to get people to come out and party.
Nangyari na ba, Josh, yung ang saya-saya, gumaganyan ka, may isang kamay ka rito, pagsalpak mo nung isang kanta, biglang nakalbo?
Very rare.
Pero nangyari na?
Yeah, nangyari na.
Oo, ano pakiramdam?
Siyempre, you feel bad. Pag titingin ka ng tao, like you're gonna sing, marunong ba ito mag-DJ? Right? Like, do you understand how to play? But that happens. Kasi majority of us, for us old school, we experiment with music eh.
Yeah.
So what we play it's a way to test kung magugustuhan or hindi. But, kasi yung mga bagong DJs ngayon, they just play the hits.
Right.
Obviously, iba yun, hindi sila nag-experiment. Which is fine. I have no problem with it. But,
alam mo, hindi ko naiintindihan, no? And hanggang hindi ko maintindihan. But sa Philippines, I hope, and dito rin sana gawin, wherein independent bands, like yung balak natin gawing collaboration sa mga intro voice songs, would actually do that and then let the DJ break it out into a new market, into a crossover market.
Yeah,
no?
which is probably a good idea to do. Kung may mga bands na open sa ganun idea.
I hope, dahil Avicii, God rest his soul, yun ang ginagawa niya eh.
Yeah.
He'll get Mumford & Sons.
Right.
Tapos, okay, let me put the Avicii flavor here.
Yeah.
Boom!
Tsaka ilalabas, right?
Eh, diba? Parang ganon. What can you say naman about yung mga katulad din na Skrillex, din na Zed, yung mga taong yan?
I mean, Zed is very good kasi he's a classically trained pianist, right? I mean, I can see him.
He's a musician also, yeah.
He's a musician. He can play the keys.
Yes.
So,
and drums.
And drums, I didn't see that. So he's good. Skrillex, I think he's really creative in terms of anything. I don't think he's a musician, right?
No.
So, but
he's a laptop musician.
Right. So, tsaka yung type of music niya is really more of a laptop creative.
Yes.
Yun yung ginagawa niya. So, I mean, yeah, they have their own way of making music, and I guess that resonated to the audience, and some of them have a lot of hits. So, okay din yung collab. It's a very good project. I mean, you imagine, you have your own idea of making music. I have my own idea, and then you infuse it into one. Obviously, that'll be interesting.
That's a new creation eh.
Right.
Okay, sa mga DJs na sinubaybayan ko for a while, Dead Mouse, what can you say about him?
Dead Mouse.
Dead na.
Kasi ako, I haven't, I see them. That's really part outside of the scene that I follow. So they're more of the ang tawag dito, mass-produced music. Tsaka yung crowd nila kasi is
Explain that. Because the reason why interesting yung sinabi mo is because minsan iisipin mo, kaya ba nakakatuwa yung music nila is because may lights presentation.
well, yung sa kanya, it's a whole show, right?
Oo.
Yeah, it's not just the music. Meron yung siyang
May visual eh.
yeah, may image siya, tsaka may visual background and everything. Kasi obviously, you cannot just go on stage and just play music, one song and another song and think people are gonna get entertained. No. So you have to be a package like a show.
Pero kayo, kaya nyo mag-entertain ng tao ng music lang.
Right, because, that's a different thing. Kasi hindi man nag-entertain. It's not as big of a production like that.
But does it have to be a big production like that?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
I mean, if especially if the crowd is really not big, it's easy to. It's something we can do. It's not easy, but it's something we can do.
So my question is, are you purposely not generating a big crowd to control the presentation? Or would you be able to handle a 15,000 college?
Well, at this point, bro, hindi ko na magagawa kasi I'm beyond that prime. Siguro
So
if
may
I was
pride?
younger.
Bakit si Georgia Moroder hanggang ngayon nag-aano pa rin?
Well, that's different, man. So they're iconic eh. They have music when they were young. So I mean, at this point in my life, I can't do that. So
Let's talk about that because as of the taping of this podcast, I'm pushing 50.
okay.
So I'm no spring chicken eh.
Yeah.
Pero ang naiisip ko sa sarili ko, we have Manny Pacquiao at 42 lumalaban pa rin. 'Di ba? What is old sa mundo ng pagdi-DJ?
I know some acquaintances that they're past their 50, they're still DJing. It's really not a problem. Obviously, nagbago lang yung culture ng how people look at DJs. So imagine if you're 50 years old and you didn't DJ young, na hindi ka kilala, would you expect somebody like 20-year-old to root for you?
Hindi. At saka mga 16, mukha kang pedophile nun.
Exactly.
50 ka nagagawin.
Unless you make music that relates to them.
Right.
There are people who do that like for example, si Wolfgang Gartner kung tawagin.
Okay.
He's at our age, but he makes EDM. So it relates to the kids.
Right.
And watches him. Something like that. So that's a path that you have to take. Some people may call it sellout, but it's...
And what would be considered sellout sa inyo?
No, so obviously yung masa music, EDM, pop or anything. I wouldn't say pop, but pop dance. Na more EDM stuff. That's
Mga aring king.
hindi naman ganun.
Oh, yun yung masa yun. Di ba?
So, like for example, when most DJs, David Guetta, for example.
David Guetta.
Yeah, they will think he's masa because of the music that he produces is something that resonates with a lot of, Kasi
It's pop.
Yeah.
It's pop lang naman.
Yeah, well, some people think it's pop. Some people call it EDM. In our world, ako kasi I can call it EDM. But like when, for example, Disclosure Mix, ang tingin ko iba, pero they call themselves pop. Disclosure, right?
Yeah.
So pag sila gumawa ng they call them pop. But a lot of us call them either garage house or ano pa ba yung
Hindi kaya dahil articulate lang tayo dahil sa generation
because
natin.
of our background. Yeah, but they call themselves pop. So, but that music, it's, nagta-translate to what we think what it was.
Right.
Yeah. So, yun yung.
Now, paano ka nagsimula dito sa mga ganto? Let's go back to the Philippines.
Oh, kasi my cousin who was younger than me, nagka-club sila sa Rumors back then.
Okay.
So,
Francis Magalona days pa yan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then sumasama ako sa kanila.
So party boy ka talaga.
I was 16, brother. Nagka-club na ako. Laman na ako ng Rumors.
Ako naman, at 16, nasa Cafe Rafael naman ako.
Saan yun?
Sa Makati Avenue.
Hindi ko na siguro
Tapos noon, kasi tito ko yung may-ari noon si Rafi Tabora.
Oo.
So ewan ko, baka kilala mo isang tito ko, si Ruval Magpayo.
Hindi.
Oh, buti na lang. Tito Ruval. So, yung dalawang yun, yung isa may-ari, yung isa naman, siya yung guest relations, di ba?
Okay.
Ako 16. So kasama ko mga kaibigan ko, sign sheet lang kami, di ba?
Yeah.
Tapos nung nawala na yung Cafe Rafael, si Ruval Magpayo, siya naman na naging punong abala sa jealousy.
Sa jealousy, sa QC.
Jealousy pa nun.
Yeah.
Mas madaling.
I get it. Yeah.
So kami na Leandro Munoz, doon kami magkikita, masikip para sa ating...
Nagpupunta ka ng Jalu?
Yes!
I didn't even know, man. Talaga. Tambay ka doon?
Tambay.
Hindi ka naman yung high school party goer dun sa daytime afternoon disco.
Afternoon disco kami nagsimula ni na JJ. Sila Julius Caesar.
Yeah. Okay.
Di ba?
Yeah.
Napunta ko lahat yun. Afternoon disco. Tapos gabi. Kasi sa gabi
Maraming chicks.
Maraming take home. Diba? So, okay.
Kaya baka ma-open yung review.
Okay lang. So, rumors. Right? So, 16 party goer ka na.
Yeah.
Hindi mo naisipan magbanda?
Hindi, brother. Kasi nobody in the family was a musician. One thing I've regretted in life is learn an instrument.
Di pa huli.
Well, I tried 3 years ago.
Okay.
Na really very good with keys.
Yeah, keyboards.
Wala akong time. So, ang goal ko ngayon, yung anak ko, yung 5-year-old ko.
Yes. Huwag mo papakawalan yun.
He's gonna start.
Let your son, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna play. Ang plano ko is to start with keyboards and guitars.
Good. Okay, so 16.
Rhythm guitar.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 16 si Josh. Nagro-rumors.
Yeah.
Mga kasama mo mga 18 anyos.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
nagyoyosi ka?
Nagyoyosi ako.
Siyempre.
16 nagyoyosi na. Yeah. Although I stopped when I was 30.
Amen. Pareho tayo.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
So, nagro-rumors ako, uuwi ako ng weekend, pagkatapos namin mag-party, back then kasi, uso pa yung mga ilaw from the... It was fun, no? Kasi papatugtog sila ng Rick Astley, tapos may ilaw na bumababa sa kisame.
Yes.
Tapos iikot,
yes.
papalakpakan yung mga tao. Pero alam mo kung ngayon, that's not gonna work.
Ano yan?
Pero that's a fad before, di ba?
Yeah.
Tapos pagkatapos, uwi na kami ng mga 4 o'clock. Pupunta kami, I think, sa Tropical Hut across that. Tropical Hut ba yun? I forgot what that is.
Sa mga rumors, pasunta mo, di ba?
Somewhere sa harap ng quad yun I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So yun yung routine ko pag Saturday. Sama ko yung 2 pinsan ko. And then my cousin...
Nakadrakar ka pa nun, no?
Di lang, man. Mga polo sport. Diba? Sa eternity.
Yes. Okay.
So yung pinsan ko na nagustuhan niya, he get into DJing. So natanggap siya dun sa group called First Audio. First Audio is parang nung back in the days.
Give them a background. Pag part ka ng isang
DJ group na elite.
Yun word di ba? May ano ka na.
Very exclusive club of DJs.
Dati mga Top Spin.
Yeah, something like that. Pero yung grupo na yun was really because yung may-ari was Wapsi Zamora. He controls all the big discotheques sa Pilipinas. So if you're part of that, you play there in that group. You play in the big clubs. Faces, Metro, all of these big clubs in Makati.
Naabutan mo yung Santos Brothers, si Joey at saka si James Santos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yun yung part nun. Naging part siya, na-inspire ako doon. Na sabi ko, gusto ko rin mag-DJ. Ang problema ko lang noon, nag-aaral ako. And
saan ka nag-aaral doon?
Nung high school, tawag dito, I was trying to DJ but hindi. Nung nag-college ako sa UST, kasi back in the day, ang mga DJ, you have to be employed. You have to work every day. How can you work every day, go home at 3:30 in the morning
and then go to school?
Go to school. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So hindi ko magawa yun. There's no such thing as that. I had to stop for 2 years to fulfill my
education.
Hindi. I stopped 2 years to fulfill my dream of becoming a DJ.
So nag-stop ka ng school for 2 years?
For 2 years. At my 3rd year, nag-stop ako ng 2 years. So para makapag-DJ ako ng 2 years full time.
Not bad.
Yeah, and then I went back to school, nag-graduate ako. This was back like 94.
No shame, right?
Yeah, no shame. I mean, it was fun. Probably if I took a leap of faith, it worked. Kaya lang I'm worried about my family kasi obviously I was kind of like a breadwinner back then. So hindi ko magagawa yun. I cannot do that. So I had to decide what I want to do.
I'll stop you right there because again, the purpose of Paco's Place is to inspire and to inform other people.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. I actually saw that in some of the episodes.
And ang ganda ng storya mo because yung decisiveness is important Yung sacrifice na ginawa mo is important. So let's amplify that after this commercial break. Talaga to si JJ. Lakas mabitin, no? And we're back with Josh Evangelista. And ang pinag-uusapan natin is, take note guys, yung importance of making sacrifices, prioritizing, and making quick decisions. And, you know, if you have to adjust on the fly, adjust. If you have to... Anyway, let's continue that. Nabanggit mo ito yung parameters. Breadwinner, meron kang passion, meron kang school obligation, and you were young.
Yeah.
And you knew what obstacles lied ahead of you,
Yeah.
right? Paano?
So, since like I said, hindi ko magawa, but I wanted to pursue this passion that I wanted. So I made that decision to, took a leap of faith for 2 years.
Whom did you have to talk to? Did you have to ask permission from your mom, dad?
No, nobody.
Wala? Okay.
Talagang ginawa ko lang, even though obviously my parents didn't like what I did. Especially, I'm on third year. 1 year na lang, gagraduate na ako, di ba?
Ano sinabi mo? Wala ka sinabi?
Wala. I just say, I don't
Hindi ka mag-enroll.
Hindi lang ako nag-enroll. Di muna ako mag-enroll, ma'am. Mag-ano lang ako. Magdi-DJ muna ako.
And then, ano itsura ng mami mo nung sinabi mo yun?
Kasi ang parents ko wala nang pakialam sa amin kung anong gagawin ko bakit yun eh. Whatever they like, whatever we like to do, it really won't matter. So, like, nag-DJ ako noon. Dun yung buhay ko ng Cosmo Bar for 2 years.
How was it?
Looking back, I think I learned a lot from that. I could not go to the big clubs kasi it was really hard to get to those exclusive clubs back then. But, they took me in when I was starting. And it was a very good experience kasi now I can relate to the people in the music industry, some of them. Like Michael Alba plays there every weekend.
Right.
So I get to meet
Kasama Passage?
Passage, Second Wind, Prettier Than Pink.
Oo nga pala.
Every Sunday nandun sila eh.
Yeah.
Joe Awayan, Arnel
Yes.
Ignacio.
Yes.
Obviously sila Rodel, the late Art
Second
Matuntag.
Wind, yeah.
Yeah, and sino pa ba yung mga ibang... There's some smaller bands I forgot. Hindi ko na matandaan. But like Chad Bora was there.
Right.
Boji's Law of Gravity was there.
Cosmo Bar.
Cosmo Bar. And that was like the premium lounge before, di ba?
Yeah.
So it was fun. I mean, I get to do that. I remember Arnel Ignacio kasi was starting, hindi pa siya sikat. I always do an opening salvo for him. So ito yung linya ko. So sabihin ko, we all know that, good evening ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cosmo Bar. We all know that Sharon Cunera is the megastar, Nora Honor is a superstar, and Vilma Santos is star for all seasons. But here at Cosmo Bar, we have our own star in the person of Mr. Arnel Ignacio. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our star fish. Tapos yung nagpipihit, i-echo niya yun, di ba? Mag-fish delay.
Fish.
Yeah, so yun, papasok na siya. Kung hindi ko naman gagawin yung starfish, ang banat ko was, ladies and gentlemen, you have no choice but to welcome Mr. Arnel Ignacio. Ganon.
Napakabait na tao nun.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, so ang dami rin niya natulungan doon.
We always make it a point to get together pag umuwi ako sa Pilipinas.
Talaga?
Si Arnelli ang tawag ko doon. Sobrang, ninong ni Heaven yun eh.
Okay. Small world.
Napakabait na tao nun.
Yeah.
Napakabait na tao nun. Okay. So itong mga taong to nakikita mo sila araw-araw.
Yeah.
Ikaw ang house DJ. Tell them what a DJ has to go to. What time you have to be at work. Yung pagkain mo. What time you have to leave.
Yeah.
So, people don't see the unglamorous.
Back then, iba yung perception ng DJ. Like, kasi nobody has access to being a DJ. I don't even have my own music back then. This was like 91, 92.
So may catalog sila.
They buy their own records, we play it. So kami lang nagsiscreen kung gusto namin or hindi.
Right.
So in our case, kasi Cosmo is only up until 3, we work 8 hours. It's different. So I go there at 7 o'clock.
Right.
I will go home at 3:30. So that's what, mag-aantay lang ako doon, play background music during the day. I think pagdating ng 10 o'clock, that's when I start to prep the crowd, di ba?
Libre iced tea.
Libre signing.
Libre.
Yeah. Pamimigay ko rin yung sa guest ko minsan. So, ngayon, pag natapos na yung set ko, the band will play na.
Yes.
Right, they're gonna play for one set, right?
Pahinga ka naman nun.
Pahinga naman kami.
Snake.
Hindi.
Snake.
Brother, back then, meron kaming touch touchpad na
For what?
ilaw.
Kayo mag-ooperate ng lights?
Kami nag-ooperate ng lights. May lightman kami. But
Right.
sometimes wala yung lightman. Kami yung dalawang DJ mag-ooperate
Oh,
mo. Because we have to light the band.
Of course.
Hindi pwede.
Of course.
Hindi naman pwede automated light. Kailangan
Yeah,
sabay,
yeah.
di ba?
Yes.
Pati yung blinders. May blinders naman nung araw na.
Yeah.
So we have to do that. Otherwise, patay yung banda kung di kami mag-iilaw. We have to do that too. Gagawin namin 2 beses, especially kung 2 set nila. Paano kung very energetic like Joe Awayan? We have to really, busy yung daliri namin nung kakapindot. So that's not really part of, somebody like a DJ na...
Hindi nyo na job description dapat yun eh. Ay ngayon, di ba?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Pero keep in mind, some DJs don't do that kasi yung mga pure discotheque clubs before, they just play. The difference between us, we come in early. Sila, they come in at 10. Kasi ang party nila they're open until 6 in the morning, 7.
Yeah.
Kami, we're done by 3:30. Kasi it's not a pure club. So yun yung routine ko every day. Monday to Saturday actually.
Basagan, no?
Basagan, man. Kasi chicks and all that. Been there, done that.
Yeah, tapos Sunday, Mega Mall o kaya Robinson.
No, hindi yun. Annapolis eh.
Annapolis.
Di ba? Pero o kaya, rhythm and blues, lalakad ka lang sa Annapolis.
Yeah.
Tapos Guda, babanat ka ron, di ba?
Alam mo, tambayan ko dati, Branigans. Naabutan mo ba yun?
Oo naman.
Oh my God.
Katabi lang yun eh.
Ang dami kong kinaibigan na waitress yata. Anyway.
Huwag mo na umpatin yung buhay mo.
Happy place yun, Branigans.
Yeah, always. That stretch.
Di
But,
ba?
I mean, yun yung life that I had. In fact, nag-overflow yon when I went back to school. So when I went back to school, kasi medtech ako, no? Yung 4th year ko is internship. I was in the clinic. Nagdodraw ng blood. Bro, uuwi ako ng 3:30. I have to wake up at 8. Papasok ako sa school, sa UST ako eh. Pupunta ako ron sa, yung draw ng blood sa labas. So ang gagawin ko, parang nagtitipto lang ako doon. Pero alam na mga teacher, late na ako. Late ako dumarating because they know that I work in the club. Pinapabayaan na lang ako kasi naawa sila sa akin. Pero puyat ako nung pagdating ko ron, magdodraw na ako ng blood.
What made you go back to school after 2 years?
Because brother, I have to survive. I mean, I felt that, how am I gonna support myself pagka-graduate ko? DJing is not gonna support me.
Wait. Maganda yung sinabi mong yan.
Yeah.
During your 2-year tenure, when did that epiphany come to you?
Siguro mga 6 months before, I mean, not halfway,
So,
almost in that 2 years. Kumbaga,
Paano? What was the conversation like with your other DJ partner? Kasi may conversation.
Yeah.
Di ba?
I mean, DJs are, during that time, they know that yung life na yon is not gonna sustain them. Unless they were bored with the silver spoon in their mouth, right? So, for us na hindi, we cannot. We have to think about our lives after that.
How old were you nung panahon na to?
I think I was like 19.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Kasi people at 19,
20.
iniisip, wala, feeling na happy-go-lucky and all that
Exactly.
stuff. So naisip mo, and what was the conversation like with yourself?
So sabi ko, what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna be after? Am I gonna be a DJ forever? What's gonna happen to me? Do I like this kind of lifestyle? This is how much I make right now. How will I survive with? Magkano itong kinikita ko from them? For example, if hindi ako nag-college, paano ko isusustain to? I mean, is this enough? Hindi.
So would you say your mom and dad did the best thing na hindi ka pinakialaman and just,
Right.
matalino kang tao, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. You will figure it out by yourself how to survive and figure out yourself na you have to do something. You have to choose the path that you want to go to. Whatever you want to do, the life that you chose is what you're gonna be, di ba? So, I mean, very cliche na
Yeah.
ano yun.
Pero totoo.
Yeah, totoo. Unfortunately, that time, kung kagaya ng scene ngayon where you can DJ in the weekend only and do whatever you want during the weekday, we don't have that luxury back then if you really want to be a DJ.
Dati pag sinabi, pwede lang ako Saturday, Sunday. Excuse me?
Yeah. Hindi pwede yun.
Hindi ka tatanggapin nun.
Right. So, yeah.
Did your mom and dad pay for your tuition?
Actually, a little bit, but mostly my relatives here usually sent me to school.
My God, Josh, no? Isipin mo, you were wise enough na hindi mo inabuso yung mga tao nagpapadala sa'yo ng pera by saying, time out muna.
Yeah.
Let me scratch this itch. Diba? Nung hindi na makate, okay, game.
So, yun, that was a good thing. In fact, my uncle wanted to send me to med school dati. Hindi naman
Doktor pa.
hindi naman natuloy. Kasi that's the path of medtech eh. Become a
Okay.
doctor. Especially sa UST. Most of my batchmates went to
Doctors
med
now.
school. They're doctors now, a lot of them. So, but,
Magka-batch ba tayo? Anong batch to?
actually, batch 92 ako, but I went to 94.
Okay,
Eventually.
mas maaga ako sa'yo.
Yeah.
88 ako naglasal. Na-kick out ako ng 91, nag-binild na ako.
Binild ka pala? I didn't know.
After the main. Nag-main ako ha.
Oh. So, I know, I heard that. I mean, even though I'm not from Lasal, I hear that all the time.
Okay. So tapos nun, finally nakatapos ka sa pag-aaral. And
Yeah,
then,
finished.
what did you do?
So, after that, graduate na ako na hindi naman ako makita ng trabaho. Sabi ko,
Bakit?
wala pa akong, I don't know kung anong gagawin ko. Medtech ako, I don't know how much money I'm gonna make from it.
Ano ba feeling ng graduate? I mean, hindi kasi di ba normally, ito yung, ang national progression kasi, di ba, mag-grade school ka, high school, college, diploma, and then what?
And
Kasi
then,
ako kasi pareho tayo eh.
Yeah.
Ginawa natin, nagtrabaho tayo kagad.
Right.
Tapos, sabang yung mga kaklase ko gumagraduate, ako kumikita na ako ng pera.
yeah. So gusto ko magtrabaho. So, nagpunta ako ng classified ads. May nakita ako Universal Records. Supervisor.
Okay.
Sabi ko, anong trabaho to? Supervisor. I think pakiramdam ko merchandising, pupunta ka sa mga
Sa mga record bar.
record stores.
Odyssey.
Odyssey and the old ones.
Yeah. Yung Astrovision.
Yeah, kasi so yun yung nakita ko. But I want to try it first. See if that I'm gonna like it. So I went there, nag-submit ako ng biodata.
Yeah, biodata.
So tinawagan.
Resume po yun dito, guys.
Yeah, it's a resume or CV.
CV.
So I did that, and then they called me, come over for an interview.
Siyempre, nilagyan ko pa ng picture na photo me, 2x2 ay, di ba?
2x2 or 1x1 full body.
Ang tigas mo, no? Nagpunta ka photo me, talaga full body ka 1x1.
nga pala, no?
Di ba?
Tagantanda. So, brother, nagpunta ako doon, tinawag ako yung interview ko. And then, nakita ko ni Mrs. Tan.
Okay, ni Belia Tan.
Yan, ni Ma'am Bel. Tawag ko sa Mrs. Tan.
Okay.
Josh, ikaw ba si Josh? Sabi niya gano'n. Yes.
Napakabait na tao nun.
Yeah. Nakita ko yung resume mo. She speaks English eh. I actually like your resume. Sabi niya, because you wrote that you were a DJ. Sabi ko, you're applying for a supervisor. Sabi niya gano'n, why don't you work as an A&R? Sabi ko, ano yung A&R?
Sa artisan repertoire.
Artisan repertoire.
Ah.
Sabi niya, well, mag-audition ka lang ng mga pyesa. Papakinggan mo lang and what you think is...
Kailan to? Anong year to?
94, pagka-graduate ko.
Okay, so halos nandun na kami eh. Kami nasa ano
Nasa
kami nun?
scene na kayo noon.
Nasa Polycosmic na kami nun.
Nasa Polycosmic na kayo.
Ah.
I think you were working with Jesmond.
Yes.
So,
Chua, yeah.
So,
Kayo na ni na Jesmond, nagkatrabaho rin kayo.
indirectly. Kasi ang label manager ko si Peter Chan eh.
Okay.
So, you know Peter Chan.
Yeah.
So, direct report niya. So, Peter Chan hired me. And then, sabi ni Mrs. Tan, mag-A&R ka na lang. I took it. Di na ako mag-supervisor.
Alam mo ba kung gaano ka-powerful ang A&R?
I didn't know.
Ikaw ang niluluhuran ng mga gustong magkaroon ng...
Pero back then, it's the label manager that runs the show.
Really? Hindi pa si Ito Rapadas na ng...
Wala pa si Ito nun. Limutan ko na yung mga coworkers ko nun eh. But it wasn't a long stint. 1 year lang ako dun.
Why?
Kasi the money isn't enough.
Wala rin, okay.
Yeah. So ang trabaho ko nun, bibigyan ako ni Peter ng mga CD from Singapore.
Right.
There you have an international label
Yes,
called VMT.
titignan mo kung anong bagay sa
Pakinggan ko lang yon, and then kung gusto kong gumawa ng mix or release ko lang ng CD, bibigay ko rin sa gawin mo to, ito title, ito yung, bigyan mo akong design, gagawin niya, edit niya, gagawa ko ng mix and everything.
Saan ang office nyo? Pareho ba tayo ng
Sa
office?
Caloocan yun.
Caloocan kayo, okay.
Right. Pero yung isa pa, kaya ayaw ko doon kasi nasa Caloocan ako, tapos Polycosmic nasa
Quezon City kami.
Quezon Ave, social.
Di ba?
So sabi ko, saan kayo trabaho Universal? Sa office mo, Caloocan. Parang hindi ata,
Alam mo ba, binigyan kami ni Napapang, ni na Ramon Chuing.
Yeah, Mr. Choing.
Binigyan kami ni Napapang ng kwarto ron.
Sinabi nga ni JJ.
May kwarto kami ron. Sino ang roommate natin? Street Boys, di ba? Street Boys sa kabilang...
Later na yun. 96, 95.
93, 94.
Street Boys, okay.
Bago lumabas ang Line to Heaven. Doon namin ginawa yung Line to Heaven, mga ganun-ganun.
Binigyan lang kayo ni Mr. Choing ng pwesto.
Yeah.
So doon ka nagre-record?
Doon kami natutulog, doon kami nagre-record. May AC kami ron, kompleto, lahat.
Yeah.
May basketball court kami.
Talaga?
May mga kotse kami, pakotse lahat. Talagang mabait sila.
So, di pampered kayo na?
Pampered.
Well, obviously, you guys were at your heydays
I
back
know.
then, diba? So,
okay. So tapos 1 year ka lang doon and then?
Well, I mean, like I said, I get to meet a lot of these people and all these guys. So, I mean, it was a very good experience. I mean, you know, sabi mo lang, I was part of Wea Universal. That was
bingo na yun eh.
Bingo. So, I left. Nag-medrep ako for me Johnson. Nakakuha ko ng work. So, I worked there for 6 years.
Okay, Dad, you were making real money.
Very good money. Diba? Nabato ako sa Cebu, tapos bumalik ako ng Manila.
That's fine.
Right.
So, pag natuto ka mag-golf?
Hindi naman. Naging papakain lang ako ng doktor. Yeah. And late nights and all that stuff. And obviously, the girls, you get to meet a lot of them.
Lahat sa Cebu pa. No? Tayo magaganda sa Cebu.
Me Johnson ako, so I have Sustagen in packets.
Yes.
So maraming medreps lumalapit. Pwede naman Sustagen. Parang marinig ako ng buksa. So, I mean, you know, namimigay kami sa mga medreps. Pag pumunta kami ng hospital, bibigay ko Sustagen. Hihingin Sustagen. O sige, meron ka bang paracetamol dyan? By Jessic or whatever. You know, palitan yun. Trade yun eh. So that was a fun time. At the same time, back then, nag-iiba yung landscape ng DJ scene. So may mga weekender DJs na.
Yun na.
Right. So I had that opportunity to go back. Although I didn't go back from 90, nung after Universal, nag-medrep ako until 99.
6 years.
6 years yun.
Alam mo, Josh, nakakatuwa yung sinasabi mo because like kung pag may mga binibigyan ako ng advice, ang sinasabi ko, relax. Your passion will find you.
Exactly. It will come. Aantayin mo lang. You don't even have to look for it. Diba? So what happened was, back then, nagsisimula pa lang yung Fort. You know, the whole development.
Karamba, tinugtugan namin lahat.
Nagpunta kayo doon? Oh, okay. Ano pa tinugtugan nyo doon?
Ano ba mga, di ba
yung Mondo.
Mondo, tinugtugan namin yun.
Yun.
Malaki yung stage ng Mondo eh. Iba na yung banda ko noon.
Wala nang, hiwalay na.
Hindi. As yan, nagpahinga na muna intro voice nung panahon na yun.
Okay. But you were still active then?
Me with another band, yung Skin.
Okay. I didn't even know that.
Ano na ako na, nag-bedrock ako. Alam mo yung mga... Oh my God.
Okay. So, yun yung nangyari. And then, I bumped into my friends na nagdi-DJ sa Giraffe. And then, yung isang friend ko, sila Mike, yung mentor ko for DJing, na natuto ako na mag-DJ from him. And then, I learned about Venetia noon. And then, yung one friend namin, si Mouse, umalis. So, doon ako nakapasok. But I'm a weekender DJ. I'm not there every day.
Not bad.
Because I'm working.
Yeah.
Right. So, at the time...
So, binata ka nito, ha?
Binata ako nun. Brother, one time, bumili ako ng CD na... Mahilig ako mag-games eh. I'm a gamer. So, back then, uso pa yung lantarang pagbebenta ng CD na naka-record. Pirated, di ba? Pupunta ako every Friday after work, diretso ako doon. May nakita ako CD doon. Puro kanta.
Na MP3?
Yeah, and I didn't even know what an MP3 is. So, sinalang ko sa computer ko, kanta, nasa CD.
1,000, di ba?
1,000, right? So, pinatugtog ko, okay to ah. May Winamp pa nun.
Yes!
Di ba? So,
kanya-kanya skin pa tayo.
Exactly. Paganda ng skin, di ba? So, napag-aralan ko yon. Nag-research ako sa internet because may internet na doon. And then I found about a lot of sites na may mga kanta na yun. Unreleased na mga dance music. Dinownload ko yun. Natuto ko mag-download. I was one of 2 people na nagda-download. And a lot of DJs are asking me, saan ang gagaling yung pyesa mo?
You tell them?
No, I did not. Sabi, yung mga cousin ko sa Amerika, pinapadala ko ng CD. They didn't know I was burning it and playing it. Every week, I have new material, brother.
Ito ang question.
Yeah.
Controller na ba ng mga panahon?
Wala pa. CD player lang. DJ player, CD player. Na may pitch control.
Yung palang, no?
Yeah, hindi na ako nagpa-plaka. No. I play records until from 1989, 1990. Actually, from being a DJ to a pro DJ, nagplaka ako until 1993. I just didn't embrace the record anymore when technology came. Yeah. So, nung pinaplay ko yung CD, every week may material ako nun. That's why Venetia was popular there because every week we're gonna drop new music, bago. Pero yung mga happy, kasi part of my, I wouldn't say legacy, but when I left Universal, naiwan doon si Gary, yung friend ko na DJ, na taga Davao. And then, kasama ko sa mobile DJ nun. And then si Mike Monsod, yung kapalit niya, na kababata ko, natuto ko mag-DJ. So hawak na yung label no? Mas maraming pyesa. Binigyan niya ako ng pyesa, Josh, pakinggan mo to. Happy. So okay to patugtugin ko na. Pinatugtog ko ng isang gabi, one weekend.
Pumutok.
So we were playing it. Tinanong ko Louie, Josh, ang galing naman. Sir, sample ni Mike dun sa Universal. Ni-release nila. Okay Hindi lang yun. Dalawa yun Actually, isa yung si Parish. Ang pangalan ng singer nun, Parish something. Kaya lang hindi niya ginamit yung...
Totoo pangalan niya?
Oo, hindi niya ginamit yung Square Heads.
Okay.
Kumbaga, ginamit niya yung original ng song. May isa pang kanta yun. I forgot the title. Yun yung pinapatugtog ko every weekend. Tsaka
Pero, come to think of it, no? Magbe-breakout sa isa sa mga club.
Yeah.
And then patutugtugin ng
Sa
radio
radyo.
station. And then papunta na sa masa.
Right. And ang difference nun, some of us, we don't give out titles. Iniiba namin yung title. So, we remember yung friend ko, yung lightman namin, may nagtanong ng title na isang kanta. Iniba niya yung title. And we didn't know, ito, nasa radyo pala ito, saka sa TV. Sinabi niya yung peking title doon. So, nakakahiya. Nagtawanan lang kami. But that was fun. I mean, imagine every night we play the hits. Nothing beats that. So, I have that bragging rights for that.
So, what compelled you? So, you did this every weekend.
Every weekend.
Tapos, nagme-medrep ka.
Yeah.
The money was good. Kailan ka nagkaroon ng girlfriend?
Wala akong girlfriend nun.
Can't afford? No time?
Lang.
When I say
We were
can't
dating.
afford, walang time to commit.
Yeah, I was just dating back then. Saka, it was fun. I mean, get to meet a lot of it dahil nandun ka naman sa club. Sorry, mommy, my wife. So, but it, back then kasi, I was an active chatter.
Okay, ICQ.
IRC.
IRC.
Yeah, so.
Hindi ka na ba nag-ICQ?
Hindi na masyado.
Alam mo sa ICQ,
Yeah.
Pag-ngetang yan na ako nung time na yun. Nakalimutan ko magpatay ng...
Nahuli ka?
Shucks.
Uso yun, di ba?
Yeah. Sabit yun.
So
yung IRC mo, talagang ASL pa talaga.
ASL noong time na yun, di ba? Yeah, I mean, I was part of that scene too. But then again, I was really more on the club and all that. And then eventually, nanalo ako ng awards ni Johnson. I got money. I decided to do a trip here. Nagbakasyon ako ng December.
May visa ka na nun?
Nag-apply ako muna ng Canada kasi I have an aunt there.
Okay.
Nung na-approve ako ng Canada, hindi na ako nagpunta ng Canada. Nag-apply ako ng US visa. Nung na-approve ako ng US visa, hindi na ako nagpunta ng Canada.
Oo nga, bakit nga, di ba?
Hindi
Nothing against, ang interviews nga pala nasa Canada. So,
hindi na ako nagpunta ng Canada because I really wanted to go here. And sa dami ng kamag-anak ko rito, like my mom's relatives, I have a lot of places.
So, Pikit Bulag, alam mo na pagpunta mo rito.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you. So I went here, dumating ako rito ng first trip ko. I like it. First 3 days ko. Sabi ko, okay, ganito na lang gagawin ko. Hindi ako mamamasyal. I'm not. I mean, the usual Disney and all that, Universal, di ba?
Yeah.
I did that, but I didn't go out. I went to Vegas, but that's it. Ang ginawa ko, I spent some time finding out how can I make myself legal
Sa States.
pag bumalik ako.
So may bala ka pa talaga umuwi muna.
Uuwi muna ako kasi hindi pa ako tapos.
Multiple entry ang tourist.
Multiple entry
Okay.
ako. Kasi may Canada akong
Yeah,
visa di ba?
yes,
So
yes.
nabigyan ako ng multiple. I was surprised.
Okay.
So actually, muntik na ako ma-deny. Nung sinabi ko lang dun sa
Consul.
Sa consul na, hey, I have a Canada visa. Nung binuklat niya yung papel, meron niya. Okay, bigyan kita 10 years.
Sige.
So yun, nabigyan ako ng visa, nakaalis ako. And then, nung malis ako dito, dumating ako, nagplano ako. I went back home. And then, after a year, I quit my job. Cold turkey yung Mead Johnson tsaka yung Venetia. And then I went
Okay,
there.
another crossroad sa buhay ni Josh Evangelista. For 1 year you were contemplating.
Yeah.
Ito ang tanong. While you were contemplating, nagmenor ka ba sa trabaho mo in terms of performance? Sagutin mo yan when we come back after this word from our sponsor.
Mahaba na ba tayo? Nakakaya naman masyado naman.
So ano ka ba? Okay lang to. Ayun. During that short commercial break, nakainom po kami ng tubig na hindi namin alam kung saan nanggaling. But we're back with Mr. Josh Evangelista. Buhay ka pa ba?
Buhay pa naman so far.
Maganda rito, naalala ko pa rin yung tanong ko kahit wala tayong hawak-hawak na script.
I know.
Diba? So before the break, meron kang 1 taon para mag-contemplate ng iyong exodus.
Right.
Question is, in spite of the fact na nag-check out ka na sa isip mo, did you throttle down on your performance as a med rep and as a weekend DJ and all this?
I have to admit, nag-throttle down ako sa work. Like, there was a time pumapasok ako. Kasi we have our own time, right? So we can go anytime.
Yes.
As long as we're making money and selling. There was a time like a few months before I leave, I go to work at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 o'clock. Kasi ang buhay na med rep, you go before noon where the doctors are stop seeing patients. So, pwede mo na sila putahan.
5 minutes lang yun eh.
5 minutes. So, bibigay ka sample. Tapos nung lunch ka na, balik ka na. Alis ka na ulit. Babalik ka na sa hapon. Yung mga panghapon na doktor naman.
Yes.
So, yun yung ginagawa ko. Hindi na ako nagko-cover ng umaga. Cover ang tawag doon. Sa hapon na lang ako nagko-cover. Lalabas ako alas 4. Wala akong ginawa sa bayo ni mag-download ng kanta.
So, decided ka na talaga na?
Aalis na ako. Plano ko talaga umalis na.
Ano sabi mo sa parents mo?
Mommy, I have to leave. Sabi ko gano'n. My dad said, yeah, I support you. Sabi niya, you do good there. I was worried kasi I don't know mangyayari sa akin dito. I'll just try my luck. That's a leap of faith that I took.
Of course.
Yeah. So, umalis ako after celebrated my big birthday back then. I think I was like 23 ba yun? Or, no, wait, no. I was 29, something like that.
Pareho pala tayo umalis na. 29 din ako umalis.
Hindi ko na matanda ko anong age ko, Paksa. But something like somewhere around that time. But after ng birthday ko, I left. So I remember my dad, nung sumakay ako sa sasakyan na nagatid sa akin. Ingat ka ron, ha? Although my dad has passed away 10 years ago.
I'm sorry.
So, I remember that. So nung dumating ako dito, I stayed with my uncle.
Saan?
Eagle Rock.
Oh, wow.
My uncle is single. And single siya, so bunso. So doon ako nakatira sa kanya. He nurtured me there. I was lucky kasi I know that I'm going here. Ang exam ko for the MedTech board was December. I have 2 months to review, which is like September and October. Then, merong review class. And then I have to prepare for the board sa December.
Dito? So, ang tourist pwede kumuha ng board?
Back then, pwede. Kahit wala kang social, pwede.
Okay.
This was like 20 years ago. Obviously, that doesn't work anymore.
Sabay ba tayo nag-migrate? 2001 ka ba nag-migrate?
2001 ako nag-migrate.
Pareho tayo. Anong month ka?
10 days before September 11th.
Ako naman, July 2, 2001. So, nag-20 years na ako dito.
Oh, okay. So, dumating ako September 1, 2011.
Wow.
So, what happened was, next day, nasa review class na ako ulit. And then, ang routine ko for the next 2 months, bro, is 8 o'clock. Saturday, may routine class ako. Gigising ako na 8, magbe-breakfast ako. Magre-review ako the whole until noon. Magla-lunch ako, magre-review ako until 7. Sa gabi at 7 o'clock mag-a-answer ako ng mga questions.
Araw-araw?
Araw-araw for 2 months. Because I need to pass. If I don't...
There's a difference between saying I want to pass and I need to pass.
I need to pass because I need to have a life here.
There was no option B?
No, there's no option.
Okay.
Although, knowing me, I already have a plan B, but that's not what I want to do. I want to pass. I need to pass.
Time out, ha? Ikaklaro ko lang, ha? Coming to the States is something you want to do, which meant passing is something you needed to do.
That's my ticket to get a better life here.
So it was very clear. It was crystal clear yung path mo na, okay, galing eh. Kasi, ay kinikilabutan ako. Daming tao nagsasabing, may mga buhay na alatsamba. Yung sa'yo, hindi.
Hindi. That was calculated. In fact, even yung isasagot ko calculated. Like for example, sa gabi, alam ko ang questions ko is 200. I'm gonna answer 200 questions yung mga sample. I have a lot of examples. If I don't make the score na 120, which is the passing rate, I have to do that again at that night.
Same na, hindi ka matutulog.
Hindi. Well,
matutulog ka.
Matutulog naman ako. Kaya lang, I have to make sure, alam ko isasagot ko na 120 papasa ko. Halimbawa, meron akong 10 questionnaire, tetake ko isa. I I have to pass 120 on that night. That I know I will pass. Kasi lagkos akong 120.
Yeah.
If I'm below that, I'm not gonna make the exam. So very calculated ako about what I'm taking. For the next 2 months, 11 o'clock ng gabi, that's when I watch TV until midnight. I'm done. Next day.
How supportive was your uncle?
He was very supportive of me. He gives me money. He drives meron siyang kotse na isa 1975 na Stingray na kulay dilaw.
Kung sabihin niya na binigay sa'yo.
Yeah, I use that when I go to the class.
Tigas mo naman.
Yeah.
Hindi niya binigay yun nung pumasa ka?
Hindi naman.
Sana hindi.
Kasi nasa kanya pa eh. Pero usapan namin ngayon, bibigay niya sa akin, I'm gonna prop it up. Yeah, i-restore ko yun. So, yun yung routine ko. In fact,
Paano disiplina nun?
Yun nga, you have to really, you cannot, wala kang,
So, consistent ka?
Consistent ako, walang option. There's no going back. You cannot, you have to pass that.
So, yung mga times na, ayoko gawin to.
Yeah.
Paano mo?
Sasabihin ako na, Josh, tara, punta tayo ng Blockbuster, renta tayo. Uncle, I have to finish something. I can't. May bagong movie ron eh, ka-release lang. I can't.
Power of saying no.
No.
It was important to you.
It was
Ever since Pilipinas ba, magaling ka na mag-no? Hindi.
I don't remember, but I think for the most part, very strong ako if I choose something na,
Pag sinabi mong pupunta kang club, pupunta kang club.
Pupunta ako ng club. Pag kailangan ko mangupit sa lola ko ng 100 pesos sa bulsa niya habang natutulog siya, pupunta ako ng rumors. Actually, that's true.
Talaga?
Yeah.
So, determined ka talaga.
Yeah. So,
okay. So, balik tayo sa review ng medtech exam.
Yeah. So, I took the board ng December. I waited a month for it to come out. I waited a month.
November, December. So 3 months, tamang-tama. If that came out, 180...
So I had the whole month of December to party na. Tapos na di ba?
So in 90 days, pwede ka na a change of status. Pwede ka mag-apply.
From what I remember, ang 6 months ko is March, somewhere there.
Yung 6 months na pinag-uusapan natin, yun yung I-94.
I-94.
Yun yung pagpasok mo sa Amerika, they give you a maximum of 6 months to stay in the country.
Exactly.
With the option to extend.
If you want to.
If you want to, upon their discretion of approval.
Right.
Pero we have to leave the country after that or else mababan tayo.
Exactly. For 10 years.
Yes. So ikaw, ang expiration mo was March.
March expiration.
So in December, you took the medtech exam board.
And I passed.
You passed?
Yeah.
How did you know you passed? Noong January mo na nalaman?
I got the letter from the state.
In January?
Yeah. So, dalawang letter na makukuha mo. Isang maliit, sa malaki. Pag malaki, you did not pass.
Really?
Pag maliit, pasado ka.
Okay.
So, I got the small one.
So, sigaw ka na sigaw kahit di mo
my God,
binubuksan.
man. Sabi ko, I think I passed. Pagbukas ko, 123. Ang passing is 120.
Ang galing mo.
Auto finish, man. I'm not so embarrassed about that. I passed 123. If I did not pass na 120, that's it for me.
Grabe, ako naman, nung geometry sa LaSalle, third year high school, 105 questions. 2 ang
Ang score mo?
Ang score ko out of 105 dahil hindi ako pumapasok eh. Sabi ko, Mrs. Ponteres, baka naman pwedeng tulungan mo ako, papatayin ako ng nanay ko. Paco, kahit tanggalin ko yung 100.
Hindi ka pa rin mapasa.
Baksak ka pa rin. 2 over 5. Okay, so, nakuha mo yung letter, nung pumasa ka, what was next? What was on your mind?
I think that's it. Half of the battle is done. Because I have to find a sponsor.
Oo nga.
Right? I have to find a sponsor.
Nag-resign ka na sa Mead Johnson nito.
Wala na, nandito na ako nun.
Kaya nga, hindi. Nag-resign ka na nga.
Yeah,
diba?
nag-resign na ako.
So in other words, when you left for the States, now it makes perfect sense, guys, because when you left for the States, iniwanan mo na lahat sa Pilipinas, goodbye bunot na yon.
Yeah.
So pagdating dito, hindi option ang hindi pumasa. Because wala kang mukhang iaharap sa Pilipinas at that specific.
And my mom and dad, after what I did,
yes,
wala akong, I have to, kaya, I was really lucky to pass. So, nung pumasa ako, ang next goal ko was to look for a sponsor.
Right.
So, I found a place, na maliit na lab. I got a place there. Oh, we're gonna sponsor you. Okay. Trabaho ko doon. Tatrabaho ko lang ilang linggo na, hindi pa rin akong,
Wala pa, hindi pa inayos yung papel.
Hindi pa inayos yung papel ko. Umalis ako.
Right.
So, saan ba ako nagpunta? I'm trying to remember kung saan ako nagpunta eh.
But was it hard to look for a sponsor?
It was. It wasn't easy.
And they would take advantage of you?
So, ganito. Meron ako nakilala na babae. I'm not gonna mention it. I think everybody knows her. So, nagpunta ako rin sa lugar niya. And then, paano ba yun? Nagpunta ako rin sa place niya without knowing na I'm not gonna say basta, in the immigration business.
Okay.
So nagpunta ako doon, sinabi ko, I'm looking for a employer. O sige, hanap ka na mag-interview sa'yo. But you have to pay.
So isa ka sa mga nadali nito?
Oh, yeah. One of them too.
Nung nakasuhan tong abogadong to?
Hindi ko alam yun. I don't know anything about that. But
Okay.
Actually,
Hindi natin binabanggit eh.
may pinuntahan akong kumpanya rin that sabi makukuha ko. That didn't work out.
Right.
I think everybody knows what that is in Wilshire.
Oh, yeah.
And all that. So, pero nagpunta ako dito sa
Babae.
Sinabi mo, whatever. Sinabi ko lang babae. Sabi ko, ma'am. I didn't say ma'am. I said, whatever. Yung professional, title niya.
Yes.
Meron akong, I have $500. Sabi ko, I need your help. I will pay you. Look for me for sponsor.
Right.
Kasi, I cannot ask my mom for money anymore. Kumbaga, I am on my own.
Yes.
And I don't want to ask for my uncle. I want to do it on my own.
Yes.
Sabi ko ganun. So, sige, bigyan mo lang ako 300. Huwag na yung 500. Okay. Make sure that I'm gonna get a sponsor. I get interviewed. Actually, I got interviewed. Which is not... Ang problema, wala silang opening. In-interview ako.
Tama naman.
Hindi naman ako nakakuha ng...
Kaya
But
minsan,
I was so really upset that
of course.
time. Kasi that was last money
Kumbaga
that I
malapit ka
have.
na sa desperation nun.
And mag-expire na yung visa ko.
Yeah.
Sabi ko, I cannot believe somebody na ganito, lolokohin pa ako after what I've gone through without really knowing that it's a common thing that happens here for every Filipino who migrated here.
Pinagsasamantalahan tayo.
Ng kapwa
Pilipino.
natin.
Yeah.
It's a very common story about a lot of Filipinos who migrated here. So I went through that. But, okay. Wala nangyari. So I just went to the newspaper, back to the drawing board ako, naganap ako. I found a job in one company. Hindi ko na even mention.
Okay.
So, I did my best there. Unfortunately, nilagay ako dun sa, I have to talk about laboratory lingo. Nilagay nila ako dun sa place na, it's not something that I will do. Galing ako sa pagtitinda ng sustagen or whatever. That's very highly technical to, di ba? So, they were gonna kick me out. Even though na-sponsoran na nila ako. Their paper, submit na yung sponsor ko. Sponsorship ko, working visa lang ako eh.
Yeah,
I'm
H1.
only H1 lang ako eh. Pero one guy there said, I think he has some potential. Let me put him on a different department. Nagraran lang kami ng hepatitis doon, ng HIV. Madali lang yun kasi pag lumabas yung resulta, positive, negative. Di ba? Ganun lang. So I took that and I took that as a challenge and I did well there. Naging lead ako ng department. Yun.
How long did you stay with that company?
So I was there for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hanggang sa makuha mo yung green card mo.
Hindi pa.
Hindi pa?
Kasi lipat ako ng lipat. So ang H1B ko ulit
Reset
ng ulit.
ng reset.
Reset ng reset. I even have multiple H1Bs from multiple kasi when you're starting to make money, greenbacks, na-addict ka na.
Yeah.
So maghahanap ka ng trabaho.
Okay. Hindi naman makakapagtrabaho sa isa kung hindi kayo petition.
And I'm surprisingly, some of these companies, they're willing to petition you. Put money, bayad ng abogado, get you another H1B. And back then kasi very open ang H1B.
Yes, daming
They're not doing any lottery back then eh.
Yes.
So yun yung routine ko noon. At nagtrabaho pa ako sa UCLA. So, all those things. And at that point, nagtrabaho ako ng hospital. Pag hospital ka na, mas well-respected ka na. Yeah, in our line of business.
Yes.
So that was fun. That from that point in until now, I actually work for a big HMO.
Pwede mo sabihin?
I don't want to say.
Actually, wag. Hindi mo pala pwede
Hindi
sabihin.
ko pwede sabihin.
Kasi one time, yung isang nurse, kasi yun ang insurance company ko eh.
Yeah, okay.
So,
I know what you meant.
Yung isang nurse, gusto niya magpa-picture sa akin na nasa urgent care ako pero hindi daw niya pwede.
No, that one, you can't do it.
Oo.
Yeah. Especially ako, I'm in the management of the company. I cannot. So, anyway.
Pero loko-loko tong isang kasama namin, dahil yung isang kasama namin, kasama mo sa kumpanya yun eh.
Pag-usapan natin yun.
Kaya yun, may sarili pang show yun eh.
So, we'll talk about that mamaya. So anyway, yeah, I did well with my profession. In fact, I'm one of the managers of the lab.
So now,
syempre may pera na ako and I can do whatever I want.
yeah. By the way, ang pera mo is, sa mga nakakalam,
I'm not bragging about the money.
hindi pwedeng bragging eh, but you really worked hard for it. And guys, sinasabi ko kay Michael Abad, sasabihin ko rin kay Josh, doon sa kumpanyang pinagtatrabahuhan nila, ang binabayaran po namin pamilya, buwan-buwan, $1,000 a month para sa health insurance na sila po wala pong binabayaran doon.
Change na tayo yung topic. That's outside of my league.
Hindi kasi people, natutuwa ako, you appreciate where you are.
Yeah.
There are people who don't.
Okay.
And unfortunately, huli na, pag nalaman nila, sayang pala, no? So I keep telling them. Anyway, alis na tayo.
Yeah.
Baka mamaya kung ano pa masabi mo.
Baka mayari pa ako.
Okay, go.
But anyway, I so now I can do whatever I want kasi, I met my wife back in 2000.
Where?
Dito sa LA. When one of friends.
So hindi sa club?
Hindi sa club. I never thought about that, Pas.
Okay, so what's the name of your wife?
Genevieve.
Sa pinakilala kayo ng common friend.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was fun. I don't want to deal too much on that one.
Ito, JJ, sinabi niya kahit ano pwede pag-usapan, di ba? Di ba? Paano nangyari sa... Wala.
No, very simple lang. I see my wife, when she became my girlfriend, we go to farmer's market.
Hindi, ang gusto ko malaman, hindi, wag na yung dating life. Pero yung, maniwala kami tie-in to.
Yeah.
So, nung nag-aaral ka, hindi mo naisip...
No, hindi ko pa kilala.
No. Hindi, wala sa isip mo na mag-girlfriend ka
No,
ganyan.
wala, bro.
Kasi, by sequence ang buhay mo eh.
Yeah, kasi nakaplano yun. Yun ang priority.
Kita mo, akala mo kung ano yung tatanong. I got you.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
nung nagtratrabaho ka na, was it a conscious effort and decision? Kasi e-harmony yung mga panahon na to eh.
Yeah.
May mga advertisement na lumalabas yung mga ganon,
Uh-huh.
di ba? So this is probably around 2003, 2004, mga...
Right.
Okay. Ang tanong ko is, when did the lights click na, you know what, hindi na ako yung Josh na medrep, na pa-party and all that stuff. It's time for me to settle down.
Yeah.
When did you think of that?
I think when I was starting to make money here. When I started, getting settled with everything. Especially when I moved out of my uncle's house.
That was an accomplishment.
Yeah, that was
diba?
an accomplishment. Ang hindi ko pala nasabi sa'yo kanina when I was talking about my transition from being tourist visa to working visa.
Yeah.
I got my H-1B 10 days before my visa expired.
Pucharagis.
10 days, man.
Oh my God.
So I was really lucky. That was photo finish. So anybody who's...
Hindi nila maintindihan yung frustration natin, no?
Yeah. What we've gone through and all that stuff. Going back. So when I was settled down making money, that's when I thought about, time to
Start a family.
Start a family. I got married 2005. So, that was great. Yeah. And from that point on, I was just busy with work. And then, nag-rekindle ako ng creative side ko, 2000.
Sandali. Wala pa tayo ron.
Sorry.
Bila napunta ron ha. Hindi. Okay. So, kala mo ha. Okay. So, you got married 2005.
Yeah.
Okay? Sinabi mo ba kay Genevieve, alam mo, DJ ako.
She knows.
She knew. Before you got married.
Yeah, she knew. Sinabi ko kasi.
And sinabi mo na,
I was a DJ before.
Okay, sinabi mo ba sa kanya, by the way, pagkatapos natin mag-asawa, balak ko maging DJ ulit, ha?
Yeah. Brother, you cannot tell that to your wife. Ano isipin ng wife mo, di ba? Ano to, hanky-panky?
Okay.
Di ba?
So, good point, no? So, paano mo in kay Genevieve? Of course, you being Josh, na may sistema sa buhay, you had to put first things first.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it's a no from your wife. So, yun ang gusto ko malaman. Because a lot of men are frustrated and I keep telling them, unahin mo muna asawa mo.
Well, so back then kasi in 2005, wala pa kami anak. And, we're enjoying ourselves, our family life and all that. But at some point, narekindle ko yung, di ba? Yung burning desire to...
So, umuwi ka galing Guitar Center, may dala kang controller. Ano yan?
Yeah. So, actually, bumibili na ako, brother. Later in life. Kaya, sabi niya, akala ko ba ayaw mo na? Tapos, ito ko na lang, bumili ka na naman.
Genevieve, if you're watching, shout out.
Sorry,
Okay, tapos?
But, bumili ako ng ganito maliit. And then, susundan ko ng malaki. And then, mas mahal. And then, it easens up. Diba?
Okay.
So, hindi very drastic yung pagbili ko ng gamit.
Right.
So, and she sees that I'm enjoying it. She thought actually nakalimutan ko na. But I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Music is music.
Music is music.
So,
Passion is passion.
exactly. So, she supported me na, okay, as long as, naka-budget tayo and all that stuff kasi we just bought a house then back in 2006, our first own house. Kaya, as long as it doesn't affect our finances, okay lang. Kasi gear back then was a little bit more expensive than now, right?
Priorities eh.
Yeah.
Please stress that out di ba?
Yeah.
Priorities, like si Genevieve, ang gusto lang niya sa'yo, ang reminder is, priorities natin ha?
Right.
Yun lang di ba?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, from that point on, nakakabili na ako ng gamit.
Right.
I buy my gear. I have all
mga
the
barot.
power.
Babe, bayad yung bahay ha? Okay, ito din ka.
Hindi naman. Very subtle lang yung pagbili.
Okay.
But ako kasi, motto ko is cry once buy once.
Okay.
So I like the latest and the greatest.
Okay.
If I have to work extra, I will do that.
Right.
Which is what I did. And being a gearhead, natural gearhead, I always like the latest and the greatest. Until now. So,
kumbaga, why go mid-level kung pwede mo na i-all
pwede ka
out?
naman mag-all out, diba? Isang beses lang naman.
Isang
Ganun
aray
naman.
lang.
Yeah.
Babayaran mo rin naman eh.
Tsaka may gives naman. Dito
diba?
meron din
Yeah.
gives. Even though uso sa Pinas yun, ganun din naman dito meron din. So, yun, that was, and then going back, sinuport niya ako. And then, okay, nagdi-DJ ako ng ganito. How old I was back then? I think back mag-40 ako.
When did your son, so 5 years ago, so 2000.
I can segue that later kasi
Okay.
that something happened nung lumabas yun eh.
Oh.
I mean, my life.
Okay, go.
So, noong 2009, sabi ko, actually, I wanna make more money. Sabi ko gano'n. Nag-aral ako. I took a master's degree sa Cal State.
As what?
Quality assurance. So, I
Sa-
finished that.
Quality assurance, may kailangan pa rin sa lab.
Yeah, I have a master's degree in quality assurance which I got from Cal State.
Kaya scientist ka na ngayon.
Yeah, kaya total. Nagamit ko yon. I mean, it helped me get into management.
Okay.
However, at the same time,
Wait. Paano ang conversation yun ni Genevieve na babalik ka sa school? What does she do if you don't mind?
she's a nurse.
Okay. So, paano conversation yung dalawa?
Sabi ko lang, I want to get into management.
Online course, so you have to go to a school talaga?
It's a combination. Hybrid.
Now, hindi niya pinag-usapan yung paano yung oras nating dalawa. Nagdi-DJ ka pa, tapos ganyan.
Well, the DJ is a hobby eh. So, back then.
Palusot mo lang.
But brother, I had to make time for everything.
Of course!
Although, syempre, deep in my wife's mind, I spend a lot of time with what I'm doing too. Kaya there are times na nag-aaway kami kasi wala akong time. I don't have time. So that happened. I mean, that's part of married life. Mm-hmm. So, but, so I went to school, I finished it. And then,
2 years?
it took me 3 to 4.
Will you talk about it like it just went zzz? Because my wife is in school eh.
No, I had to stop. Hindi ko magawa ng because of work and what I'm doing too. So it's not full time. It's hard full time. So at the time I'm getting into the DJing thing back and I got connected with George again.
Right.
So nag-DJ ulit kami sa Hollywood. Ngayon bumalik na ako kay George kasi for a time being di kami magkasama.
Yeah, sabi mo nga kanina.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then we were partying and then I also get to meet other people and all that.
Wala ka pang anak nito?
Wala pa.
Okay.
Yeah, malayo pa yon.
Okay.
So, sabi ko, nakikita ko ngayon, sabi ko, paano kaya ako magiging successful na DJ? Ano, magdi-DJ lang ako ng private parties and all
Time out,
that?
isipin mo, successful ka na sa healthcare industry.
Yeah.
Humahangad ka pa maging successful sa entertainment industry.
Kasi there's something that I wanna do na hindi ko nagawa nung early eh. Because, I have to pursue my career sa healthcare.
Out of necessity.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because I want to do that.
Time out, tingnan mo to.
Yeah.
Sinabi ko rin sa mga kaibigan ko at sinabi ko rin sa anak kong 25 years old and all that. And I this is what I tell people. And you can double down on this.
Yeah.
Kasi mukhang tama eh. At 17, 18, follow your passion. Kasi may magulang ka eh.
Right. May magsusupport sa'yo.
And then pag nakawala yun, it's okay. Kasi pagdating mo ng mga 40 to 50,
Babalik yun.
babalik yun. At may
Midlife
pera,
crisis.
At may pera ka na eh.
May pera ka na.
Yeah.
Established ka na,
Established
right?
ka na. Pwede
And you can manage your time.
Yes. Is that what happened? Parang,
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So bago mag-40, nag-isip ako, okay, I enjoy DJing, private parties and all that. Is that what I want to do? Sabi ko, maybe not. So, I think nagsisimula yung YouTube nun eh.
Right. 2005. Yeah.
Yeah. This was 2009. And then nakikita ko, like, may mga nakikita akong gumagawa ng kanta on a computer. Sabi ko, okay, ito ginagawa nila. Ano to? Sabi ko, gano'n. So, ni-research ko yon. Digital Audio Workstation.
Oh, DAWs. Yeah.
Right? So, kumbaga, nag-transition na ako from being a DJ. I've been a DJ since 1990. Kumbaga, I have a lot of hours with me. Kumbaga, sa flying,
Yeah.
So, 2010, 2009, marami na. 2009, 2000, marami na ako. Sabi ko, pag-aralan ko kaya to. So, nagsisimula na rin yung mga DJs that are trying to get into the music industry and make their own music.
Oh, ito mga sinased. Mga ganun.
Right, exactly. So, nung time na yun, pinapanood ko yung mga sikat na mga producer na DJ and I wanna sound like them, thinking that if I do that, I need to find out kung ano yung DAW na ginagamit nila para maging kagaya ko sila.
Right.
Di ba? So,
Uy, tama yung ano na yun ha. Tama yung mindset na yun.
Yeah. Kasi I wanna sound like that. Yun ang idol ko eh.
Kunin mo yung gamit nila.
Right. Kukunin ko yung, maybe that's how, but that's not true.
Oh, man.
It didn't really work that
Why?
way. Because
Hindi mo kinuha yung plugins. Yun.
it was a tool. It wasn't really gonna make your sound. You will determine your own sound.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
So, at that point on, nagpursige ako mag-aral, gumawa ng So, I started with loops. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Combine ko lang, papahinggan ko. Okay, maganda tunog. And then,
Anong software ginagamit mo for loops?
back then, nagsimula ako sa GarageBand.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, without knowing na yung Logic ang
Ang kanyang,
Big Brother.
yeah,
Right.
yung Lexus niya.
Yeah, so ginawa ko, pinakinggan ko. Okay naman, kaya lang sablay yung tunog. Hindi timplado eh. Para mas malakas yung bayo ng kick,
Yes.
tsaka nung snare, tsaka
Yes.
nung hi-hat.
Kesa sa lahat.
Sa lahat. Diba? So, di obra. Loops lang to, So, ang goal ko nun was to learn how to make music to support my DJ career. And see if it can, put me somewhere else above everybody else. Trying to be unique, So, natuto ako, nag-aral ako, and just sabi ko, this is not cutting it. I think I have to enroll.
So nag-masters ka na dito, hindi pa, tumigil ka nga pala.
Tapos na ako nun. Tumigil ako sa school.
Okay.
So, pinursige ko yun. When I said, I wanna go to school, I wanna go to School of Music Production. Nagbayad ako to learn how to produce. So, I actually paid money.
Would you recommend to our audience to actually go to school?
So everybody watches YouTube, like Paco's Place, right? There's a trove of treasure in YouTube where you can get a lot about music
Right.
production, all that. Nothing beats going to school.
Amen.
There's the money that you're paying for school is worth it every single dime.
Amen.
Na hindi mo makukuha sa YouTube. If you want to get into this type of, especially ang music making now is software-driven, heavily software-driven. You need that schooling.
Alam mo, I agree. Because although I'm not officially in school,
Right.
I would pay $300 to $350 to take a course on a specific subject.
Yeah.
I need to learn.
That you need to learn.
Yeah.
But the value of that, it's worth its value for whatever you're paying for, right?
Yes.
So if I pay $1,000, I spend more than that.
Yes.
That's the value that I think for that. So some people probably don't put too much value like that. I do. Kasi I think that's gonna make my sound.
At saka yung confidence eh.
Yeah, exactly. Elevate.
Yeah. Like, di ba, during the break, pinag-uusapan natin yung life coaching and all that, right?
Yeah.
I had to get a mentor.
Yeah.
I had to validate whatever it is that I'm talking about.
If you're really, yeah.
If I'm really cut out to do it, di ba?
Yeah.
Hindi pwedeng nakutot ka lang biglang,
May mentor ka rin ba?
yeah, may accountability.
No, but when you learn instruments, may mentor ka rin.
Yes, I learned from Michael Alba. Learned from
I didn't even know that.
Michael Alba.
Okay.
Learned from Michael Alba.
Okay.
He also played for Intro Voice, nag-artista.
I didn't know
He
that.
played for Intro
Okay.
Voice. Learned from Jun Regalado. Dami.
Yeah.
Mentors are important eh.
Right.
That's why I say school is important. Hindi ko nakita yun nung nagbabanda ako.
Yeah.
But now I will advocate for
The school.
school.
So I went for Logic. I took a Logic course online. Kasi uso na online noon eh. So I went to
Not
Point
Pro
Blank.
Tools, ha?
No, not Pro Tools. Kasi yung mga DJ na gumagawa ng pyesa na sikat na kilala ko
Logic.
that are remixing for pop artists like Jennifer Lopez, Jamiroquai and all that, they use Logic.
Okay.
So I say, oh, maybe I will sound like that. Let me use Logic. So I sat down, like I really pinag-aralan ko talaga yun. And I learned so much about it na natimpla ko na yung tunog. Obviously, yung mga first, if you guys go back to my SoundCloud page, may mga pyesa ako dun sa dulo. You will hear yung difference, yung very rawness ng pyesa.
Yung raw, GarageBand pa yon.
Oo.
Okay.
And how it transitioned to the new one.
Right.
So, that was fun. And I get to work with, hindi pa pala yun. Nagkaroon ako ng passion now. So other than the DJing, na-divert yung attention
Yes.
to making music.
Yes.
Which I found that was fun.
Yes.
More fun than DJing. Actually, knowing you guys are singer-songwriters and musicians.
Ako natutuwa naman ako mag-DJ dahil hindi kami DJ. So way! Shika.
I'm not into that. Okay. So that's a different scene. But then again, yung scratching is a very the different.
Mga DMZ na yun eh. Oh.
Yeah. So, but going back, I didn't regret paying for that money. So if you're thinking about getting into the craft, you really need to spend money for it rather than just using YouTube.
Yes.
Unless you're a natural music producer, then it's a different story. So, yun, nag-ano na ako noon. So, ginagawa ko rin set aside from DJing. And then, naka-rekindle ako sa mga colleagues ko sa DJ industry online sa Facebook, which is starting back then, right?
Yes.
So, ang dami kong nakausap noon na may mga account na, ito and all that. Okay. So, gumawa ako ng Facebook page noon na ang tawag. Actually, bago ako gumawa noon, I was part of a group called Electronica Manila, which is
Alam ko yun.
Yeah. Everybody's there. The big names in,
Kasama rin yata ako rin.
nandun ka siguro. Yeah, so,
Okay.
Cyril, my friend, Cyril Sorongon runs it sa Philippines.
O kasama nga ako doon kasi si Cyril nagda-drums din eh.
Exactly. Tsaka yung
Si
guitar.
si Cyril ang pumalit sa akin sa Skin.
Oh my God. Small world.
Kaya pala sabi ko, ba't ako nasa, shout out to you, Cyril.
Yeah.
So, pagka alis ko dun sa bandang binuo ko para pumunta ng Amerika, si Cyril
nag-take over.
ang nag-take over sa drums.
And Cyril's a very good music producer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, nung nakakilala ko sila, and then nainganyo ako gumawa ng pyesa kasi I see them they're very natural with that. They're not all of them are DJs. They're mainly music producers. They make their own music.
Right.
Na-inspire ako doon. I credit to Cyril and his group for that. So that's when I started getting into it. In-incorporate ko na yung DJ scene for that. And at that point, I get to know a lot of producers who make also dance music like me.
Yeah.
Who are in the group. And I get to meet them in person kung umuwi ako ng Pinas. But I always go once a year back then.
Right.
So, after that, okay na. We had this naging collective online. So, nag-isip ako, gawa tayo ng event sa Pilipinas. We're here, Ano tatawag po doon, Josh? Manila Electronic Dance Music Conference. Manila Electronic Dance Music Concert. Med MC.
Oo eh.
Yeah.
Na may kinalaman din sa'yo.
Yeah.
Na ikaw si medical MC.
Medical MC.
Kasi nasa,
Something like
diba?
So, ang ginawa ko, may nilapitan ako online na may kakilala siya sa F1 Hotel sa BGC.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Sabi ko, "Hoy, sponsor mo naman tong event na gagawin ko. Nasa ka ba? Punta ka rito sa office." Wala ako, nasa Amerika ako. Sabi ko, sige, magano na lang tayo. Ano pa ba? Meron na bang
Skype.
FaceTime? Skype na lang, Skype. Skype kami. Ito yung idea ko and all that. Sige, sponsoran ka na ng 2 days. Pucha, it opened up the...
So 2 days yung sabihin, meron kang ballroom.
Binigyan ako ng ballroom, nag-advertise ako online, nagtinda ako ng ticket, I put up a poster, I don't have it, I could, show it.
Puro online lang to.
Right. And then, may nilapitan ako, sa DJ business, yung Pioneer DJ is a big brand, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know na meron palang local business doon, distributor sa Pilipinas. Nakilala ko yung distributor dito kasi nag-a-attend siya ng party namin ni George. Yung Pioneer DJ na representative dito.
Right.
Nilapitan ko, umattend sa party namin ni George. Mahilig din mag-play na house music yun. And he's a executive sa Pioneer DJ. Uy, pakilala mo naman ako doon sa Pilipinas na Pioneer DJ. Hindi, I don't know him. Tawagan mo yung Singapore Pioneer DJ.
So, kumonekta ka pa sa Singapore?
Kumonekta ako, minessage ko sa Facebook, pinakilala niya ako. Inintro niya ako sa Facebook chat. Hey, I'm doing an event in the Philippines, the very first one. Can you sponsor it? Utsa, ikaw ba naman mag-organize ng Manila Electronic Dance Music Conference and may Pioneer DJ?
Why not? Yeah.
So
that's a specific niche.
Right. So, dinirect niya ako dun sa distributor which is called Zamoni Philippines.
Okay.
So, sila may hawak ng concert, yung lahat ng Pioneer consumer brands. Tinabi ko, I have this project and all. Sige, sponsor namin kayo. Which, nagdala ako ng mga gamit, yung mga very expensive Pioneer gear. So, syempre, that attracted a lot of locals sa Pinas. Right?
Of course.
We haven't had this before. So, sinuportad din ako nung nila Cyril and everything. Ang ginagawa namin nun, Sai, gawa ka ng dance music, i-project natin doon, patutugtugin natin, may kakanta. Very unique. May kakanta while the DAW was playing. So, him, a few DJs, even si Bojam. Kilala mo si Bojam?
Hindi yata.
So, si Bojam is yung Flip Music.
Okay.
Siya yung producer doon. Siya may-ari nun. Siya gumawa ng tala.
Ni Sarah Geronimo.
Sarah Geronimo. Kasi nag-produce nun siya, alam ko, and then kasama nag-compose is yung I forgot their name. I'll mention it later. So, nag-present sila doon and all that. And some DJs na malalaki sa industry who don't make music was part of it because it's a collective eh.
Right.
And that was big. That garnered attention with a lot of people.
Ilan tao nanood?
Dun, yun umattend ng show, siguro mga 200.
Malaki nga.
Malaki na yun for a start. It wasn't bad.
First event?
Yeah, and I get to meet
first event of like-minded people.
like-minded people. That never happened in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And I get credit from other people saying, bakit kailangan taga-Amerika pa yung gagawa?
Minsan ganun talaga. Iba yung mindset eh.
So para sa mga kababayan na sa Pilipinas, what can I do? Si Noel the Bracking, I don't know if you know him, Rubber Inc.
Oh, yeah.
Sila ni Mumoy. Si
Moy.
yung kapartner niya si Malik.
Okay.
Kasama rin doon. Pero I took Noel and siya yung nag-present ng Ableton Live there. Kasi it's more of an educational conference eh. And then they talk about the scene, obviously, that own scene, di ba? So that was fun. Nangyari yon nung first year, 2012.
So ilang beses ka umuwi?
I had to go home ng 2 beses na. And I was planning it here.
Okay. Ang tanong dito, day job, tuloy pa rin.
Tuloy pa rin yun.
And you were doing, so ang dami mong ginajuggle na stuff.
Yeah, wala akong anak. Asawa ko lang, kaya nagagalit yung asawa ko. Kasi nadadivert na yung attention ko.
Yes.
But she sees that I'm enjoying it. She supported me with what I'm doing.
Okay.
So, but I have to admit that's not 100%.
Yeah.
Kasi your wife needs your attention.
Of course.
So, I have to do that. So, that was a successful event. I planned for second year. Actually, I went big. May nag-intro sa akin. Are you familiar with Transport Show?
Yeah.
So, that's Sophie, yung may-ari,
Si Sophia may na transport show.
Yeah, Sophie.
Trans show dati yun eh.
Trans show.
Tapos bilang nag-iba, naging
Naging transport show.
Yeah.
Nag-perform ba kayo doon?
No.
Okay. So,
Pero palagi ako nanonood doon.
nag-usap kami, nag-pitch in ako sa kanya. Pinakilala rin ako ng mga fellow DJs na kilala niya. Sige, gawin natin. Kasi she knows how to run it. Di ba? So, ayan, from F1 Hotel, napunta kami sa SMX.
Okay.
So, yung first event was like the NAM of the Philippines. That was the first like NAM of the Philippines that they said. Because kasi, ang ginawa niya, since nandun na siya, tinuro ko sa kanya, puntahan mo itong si ganitong distributor. There's no local brands for some of, like Korg is ang Korg brand is held by, sino nga ba yun?
No, wait. Jay. Jay. Pucha, tulog pala si JJ. Oh, gising ka na? Lokoy mo lolo ko, wag ako.
Natulog na.
Okay, wait. Korg. Titingnan natin.
Edit ba natin yun?
Hindi. Lagay natin yun.
We're still playing?
Oo. Baala siya sa buhay niya, no? Korg is under...
Teka muna, I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah.
Sinabi ko kay Sophie, reach out to the distributors. I know them. And ito yung mga leads. Kontakin mo sila para mag-join sila. Some of them kasi like I mentioned Korg, right?
That's fine.
They're a big brand.
Yeah.
There in the Philippines. They didn't participate.
Because?
I think ang direction nila noon was the keyboards eh.
Pero ang weird because now Korg is heavily into
electronic music. And yung mga gear for electronic.
Yes. But at that time siguro
ayoko
timing.
magsalita.
Ba't di ka magsalita? Pwede naman eh.
So, I think I am gonna say it nicely. Yung mga old school people who run the gear business in the Philippines have that old school mindset. Hindi pa sila open for this kind of events.
Anong year to?
This was 2013, 12, and all that. Okay. 2013.
Okay.
So actually I was thinking hindi sila sasali. They wanna see how it grows muna before sila sumali.
Right.
But, it ended up that that's not their scene. But a lot of people use that brand for anything. But they don't want to do it because I guess iba yung pananaw nila eh. Music industry driven, which is fine. I was just thinking, ang daming products ng Korg na electronic, may mga pads. That's very popular with the kids.
Meron ako doon eh.
Volca,
Meron ako nun. Yung kinakabit ko mga trigger pads, mga faders.
Yeah, but hindi sila sumali. But a lot of the brands join in yung may mga local distributor. So nasali ni Sophie yun. Kaya malaki yung event na yun. But eventually, hindi na namin sustain ni Sophie yung partnership kasi Sophie had a different direction back then. So, kumbaga, but I was grateful to be partners with Sophie. I learned a lot from her.
Amicable yung
naman, very much. Kaya hindi na niya, kumbaga, she wasn't probably expecting yung scene is different from, from the usual thing. But she still supported me, helped me with staging the next event, yung pangatlong event.
May pangatlo?
Nakaapat ako. 12, 13, 14, 15. Brother. Yeah. That was fun. So I had to go 3 times a year. I have to
Twice 1 year.
3 times twice a year.
Okay.
I have to put 6 months of my life to plan kasi I have to call. Nagtayo na ako ng events company ko doon. Niregister ko na sa DTI and everything. So I had that. Kasi I'm dealing with distributors. I need to have receipts.
At saka legit ka dapat.
Legit na ako. And I have a bank. And I have to, you're talking like millions na yung transaction.
Yeah.
You're in SMX eh. You're not in,
yes.
You're not in Barangay New Hall, Barangay Hall. Wala ka doon. Nasa SMX ako. And I'm, and I'm bringing brands. In fact, naging NAM member ako because of that. And I go to NAM every year. If you need a ticket, let me know. I'll give you.
Sige. Thank you.
You guys.
Ayan ha.
If you need, just let me know. I'll give you a ticket. So, I brought brands sa Philippines. Even mga plugins dinala ko sa Philippines. Like Isotope, even Garan, alam mo yung mastering soft plugin?
Yeah.
Dinala ko yung project manager nila, product manager na nagsalita ron sa Pilipinas.
So parang Philippines na nga ang dating
something like
nito,
that.
yeah.
It's just more driven
niche lang sa electronic music.
Electronic music. Hindi ko ginawang DJ lang because very niche pag DJ lang.
Ito may mga producers talaga.
Yeah, that's when na-attract ko sila Radio Republic, in-interview ako nila Zach Lucero, sila Dan Hill joined, si Rames nag-join kasi, you know, Rames, Squid Nine is, di ba? So sumali din sila. So, nag-present na rin sila. That's when pati yung mga General Luna girls, actually si Karen lang, Karen Tevany, nag-join. I thought about something para maka-join sila. They joined. They were very happy to be part of the scene. So,
hindi sumakit ang ulo mo nito?
It was bad, man. It's hard because you have to sleep like 5 hours a day. And although may tao sa Pilipinas na nagra-run, yung concept and all that, I have to talk to the distributors and email and all that. I have to talk to JB Music.
So, ang tanong, pumapasok sa isip ko, ilang tao ang binigyan mo ng positive result sa HIV?
No, I wasn't. Wala na ako doon.
No. May tawag sa Pilipinas, positive to positive.
No, wala na ako noon. 2005 yun.
Okay.
So, that ran for like 4 years. That was a fun event. And people are very grateful for what I did. Kasi nagdala ako ng brand, nagdala ako ng everything.
Was it sustainable?
It wasn't because I'm here.
Bakit wala kang...
Isa pa walang
bakit
kita.
Bakit hindi ka naging mentor?
Walang kita.
Ayan.
You know why? People are not willing to pay.
So, libre.
For example, magpapaklas ako ng masterclass ng ng DAW. They're not willing to pay for it.
YouTube na lang nila.
1,000 na lang pesos yung singil ko, ah.
Wow.
Para magturo ng DAW.
At magkaka-certificate ka.
Oo, ayaw. Walang pupunta. I only have like 30 people na pupunta.
You know what? I think things are changing sa Pilipinas because si Michael Alba...
He has a school, right?
He has a school.
Yeah. So part of this whole ecosystem, nagtayo ako ng DJ and music production school sa W Building. Yung mga partners ko, naging kaibigan, naging mga nakilala ko during the scene. We put up a school. It ran from 2014 up until 17. Kaya lang hindi na-sustain yun.
Dahil
wala.
Dito ka nga.
Oo.
Ang tanong ko,
pabayaan.
This is, and you can choose to answer it candidly or whatever, but answer it. Bakit hindi ka naghanap ng protege sa dami ng tao ron? Why weren't you willing to
kasi wala akong time
magturo?
Oo. I wanted to, but wala akong time. And noong 2015, before that, January, that's when I decided, when I had my school, to pursue certification in logic.
So you had to do something for yourself while doing something for others.
Yeah, and to back up that school's credibility.
Oh yeah.
So I took the certification and I passed it in one taking.
Galing, no?
And I would just say, I don't know if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I was the first Filipino native. I would say native. Tama ba yun? Native Filipino.
Yung first gen.
First gen na Logic certified. So, yun yung...
Kasi lahat sila puro Pro Tools ang Pro Tools.
Right. But does it mean anything? No. It doesn't. Kasi it's always the end product pa rin that you're judging. I mean, it's good for our school that I used to promote the school back then. But the school, ang bread and butter ng school nun was the DJ. And ang mga estudyante namin, you just don't know. The big name.
Galing.
Big name tycoons. Mga apo-apo.
Really?
Yeah. May mga estudyante ngayon. Tsaka mga artista and all that stuff.
So, paano ang conversation ninyo ni Genevieve nung nangyayari to?
Well, obviously, are you making money?
Ayun yun eh, no?
Yeah. To lang, I did not.
Time is money.
Na-realize now. So, you know, and during that time, we're trying to have a baby.
Pero before we talk about the baby topic, pero what if, naisip ko lang, no? What if pinush mo pa ng 1 taon, would it have made money?
Hindi pa rin.
Ano sabi mo? Oh. Hindi nga.
Hindi pa rin.
Grabe. So nag-usap na kayo mag-asawa?
Yeah. Sinabi niya, you need to stop because you're not making money from it. And wala ka nang ginagawa kundi yan na lang.
Okay, pagbalik natin, alamin natin kung ano sinabi mo after this break. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Josh Evangelista. So alamin natin, so sinabihan ka ni Genevieve, ano ngayon ang sinabi mo?
Sabi ko, bigyan mo na lang ako ng a few...
So tumawad ka pa, ha?
Oo. Sandali na lang. Matatapos na din to.
But of course, you were feeling the stress because ito, once, alam mo, ang stress, ang asawa, iba ma-pressure eh. Simple lang eh.
Yeah, it's...
Pero mabigat.
At saka mawagi-guilty ka.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to think kung ano yung tama ba itong ginagawa.
Yes.
Tama ba itong ginagawa mo or what?
Yes.
Something like that.
Kasi pag sinusuportahan ka ng asawa mo, ang sarap umalago eh.
Yeah.
Pero pag nakasimangot na, oops.
Right. Pero, being the supportive wife, sige lang, okay pa rin. So, nagtatrabaho naman ako, hindi naman ako minto magtrabaho.
Right, pero alam mo, you were withdrawing from your emotional love bank, right?
Yeah, of course, because I have to put time on what I'm doing. I told you, I have to put my life for 6 months to plan this event.
Right.
And I spend until 2 o'clock in the morning without even spending time with my wife. And natutulog na siya. Ako, nandun ako sa isang kwarto. Nagpaplano ako. I'm on the phone and all that stuff. Obviously, I make music pa.
Alam mo, to that note, no,
Yeah.
just yesterday, I was supposed to edit a vlog video.
Yeah.
Pagdating ko rito, si JJ at saka yung sound engineer namin, hindi pa tapos mag-set up for intro voice rehearsal.
Yeah.
So ang ending, pagdating ko rito, imbes na mag-edit ako,
You have to go out.
then nag-line check pa kami, tapos nagkwentuhan pa kami, natapos kami ng 11:30 ng gabi.
Oo.
Alam mo, inisip ko, should I edit or call it a night?
So you can spend time with
Yeah, it was hard.
Ja. Yeah, it was not easy. So you're in that thing.
Yeah, I understand.
And may momentum ka. So you don't want to lose it too.
Di ba?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm really lucky that she, kumbaga, pinagbigyan pa rin ako. And in between, I make music.
May ultimatum ba nung time na to na sinabi mo, konti na lang. What was
Wala
the
naman.
ultimatum? Okay, wala.
Wala naman. So that's a good thing. So it was at least na pagbigyan ako nung nagre-request ako na, taga, sandali lang to, huli na lang to.
Now,
Yeah.
nung sandali lang to, huli na lang to, was the mindset the same as your last year with Mead Johnson? Time to land this thing.
Exactly. That's it. It's the same. It's kind of like
May
similar.
pattern, no?
Oh, pattern lang. Ganun lang naman yun eh. From you're done, you move to the next chapter.
Right.
Yun na yun. So, at the same time, there was a trigger.
Oh,
Yung anak ko
okay.
was born. In
Nakagawa ka pa ng anak in spite of everything,
Yeah.
ha?
2015.
Okay.
So, we were lucky to be given a child. Kala ko hindi na makakagawa eh. So, we have one.
Okay.
So, now, Pax, you have to make priorities in your life.
Of course, alam nga naman si Genevieve lang mag-aalaga.
Yeah, so, I have to wrap up everything. Napabayaan ko na yung school, hindi na makapag-participate. Being that, other than school, I run 3 record labels in the Philippines.
Right.
I just gave that moniker. I don't even know if it's true. The biggest dance music label in the
Why
Philippines.
not? Kami nga, ang sinasabi ko, we're the number 1 OPM band in North America.
Well, that's true.
Sino pa ba ang OPM band sa North America?
So those labels took a lot of my time too.
Right.
But that's during the downtime ng event eh. So, marami akong nakilala music producers na nagpo-produce ng dance music sa Philippines. Very unique. But we nurtured them and partnered them with singers. Kaya, I think si Aya sino nga ba yun?
Si Aya De Leon?
No. Si Aya was good joining us then.
Yeah.
I was planning to make a track with her, hindi natuloy. Gumawa ako ng pyesa with Rada. I had a single with Rada, yung Catch Me on the Dance Floor. That's a Facebook collaboration lang. Actually, si Cyril ang pinagbantay ko nung sa recording.
Galing-galing kumanta ni Rada.
Ang galing. Tsaka yung lyrics, ang galing. I don't even have to teach her. Pagdating sa akin, so guys, since I make music, I also got into the part of remixing tracks. Kasi normally that's a separate art.
Iba yun, yeah.
From making original music, right? So, although nung time na yon, gumawa kami ng urig. Normally, when I started to learn making music, hindi ko alam yung mga little things about it. When you work with a very good singer, very easy gumawa ng pyesa.
As in, parang, kasi yung flow ng energy, alam mong ginagawa niya yung
Ginagawa
part
niya. So, for example, binadala niya sa akin yung vocal parts. I don't have to use melody. Actually, I use Melodyne.
Yeah, okay.
I don't have to use anything. Very minor lang. Yung ginamit ko sa Melodyne to adjust yung mga birit niya.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to do the track. Walang problema. That's the very good thing about... Sorry, nag-segue ako to different...
No, that's okay.
It's very easy to work with a very good singer. That's why it's important when you're making music and you find somebody na singer, search the internet. It doesn't have to be that singer. Although I'm very lucky to get a big name like Rada, there's a lot of big names. There's a lot of great singers sa mga kapartner. Pag gumawa ka ng pyesa, very easy. So,
Kasi half the battle yun eh. Isipin mo kung lilinisin mo pa yung ginagawa niya, that's another waste of time.
Yeah.
Di ba? So, yung sabihin, mapapatagal na naman yung process.
Right.
Imbes na hinug na, lulutuin mo pa pagkatapos maluto. Parang...
Meron akong kinuwang singer for my first single. She wasn't really a pure singer, but I gave her a break. So, si Sha, yung Ride Like Crazy. Pero ang writer ko kasi, ako gumawa ng backing track, obviously, everything, melodies and that. Pero yung songwriter ko was si JC. JC is in the Philippines. She was a graduate of Berklee College of Music. Summa cum laude siya.
Right.
So, nagpa-partner kami gumawa and then pinakanta ko lang doon. And then I heard somebody to do a remix to come up with the track. Kasamang release. I had to pay that, like $500 with a big name dance music producer. Ni-release ko sa digital dance music sites.
Kumita ka, hindi?
Hindi. Who makes money making music?
Pero ang hindi maintindihan ng tao yung satisfaction eh.
Satisfaction to get your name out there in Spotify.
And it's your creation.
It's sarili mo. From top to bottom and all that.
Di ba?
Yeah.
It's your creation.
Every single instrument.
Yun ang hindi maintindihan ng tao. Na parang, why do you do that? Wala kikitain. Hindi, kumita na ako.
Yeah.
The fact na nagawa ko, nailabas ko, na-immortalize ko, okay na yun.
Going back to the label,
yeah,
there was a
labels.
where a point na nag-manage ako ng talent from here.
Nakuha mo
Together
pa
with my partners, yeah. So, yung isa namin talent was Kid Wolf. He actually makes music for Sarah G and all that stuff. He works for Jonathan Manalo too in ABS.
Yeah.
Star Records. But, I have a talent eh. I want to make him like Calvin Harris of the Philippines back then. Hindi ko lang nagawa masyado dahil I wasn't there.
Okay, Josh. Your hands is in all places.
Back there. Yeah.
Ang pinaka-wake-up call mo was Genevieve getting pregnant.
Yes. Nagsimula doon na yun.
So anong pumasok sa isip mo nung sinabi niyang positive ako?
Well, actually, we were happy.
No, pero I know you were happy.
Actually, hindi ko pa naisip yun eh.
Okay, so hindi mo naisip that day na, magkaka-baby tayo. So kaya pumasok sa isip mo yung, shoot, ang dami kong bagay sa Pilipinas at magkaka-baby
Wala
tayo.
pa.
Wala.
I even
So
thought about...
buong 9 months na buntis si Genevieve, business as usual to.
Yeah.
So
Napabayaan ko lang yung school though.
Right, so lumabas yung baby.
That's when things change.
How?
Like, I have to spend time now with my son.
May resentment ka?
With what? With the son? Wala. Nothing.
So now,
yeah.
you're spending time with your son, but part of you, minsan may palpitation na, shoot, may tatawagan pala ako sa Pilipinas. Tama, di ba?
Yeah, that's part
may
of
ganon.
that. Mm-hmm.
So when was it time for you to pull the plug?
So, he was born in 2015. 2 years after that, siyempre, he's starting to walk, nagkakaisip na ng konti and all that. That's what I said, that's it. Besides, yung school was going down. The label was great, but,
Priorities
are
again.
priorities. I have to prioritize my son more than anything else. So I have to stop everything that I'm doing there. And actually, friends are telling me, bakit ka ba nag-aksaya ng oras mo? Hindi ka naman nakatira doon, dito ka nakatira. Ba't di ka mag-aksaya ng oras mo dito?
So ano sinagot mo doon?
Actually, hindi ko na masagot yun. Sabi ko, I don't know what I'm doing. Actually, I want to say it now. I regret the time. Although I enjoyed the company of my friends and all that, marami rin naman ako natulungan sa Pilipinas.
Yes.
I say that just because I know some of them are very successful with their careers, got jobs and all that. Some of them got known through the scene, through that scene that I
through
made.
You.
Yeah, through that conferences, people got to collaborate with everything. I wish na dito ko na lang sana pinrosige yung art ko on my own and spend my time doing my own music. Kumbaga, you notice hindi ako masyadong naglalabas ng pyesa back then.
Yeah.
Or wala naman ako masyadong big discography like everybody. Kasi nga,
You were busy helping other people.
right, or doing those events.
Have you been acknowledged?
That's the thing. Some do, some don't. So, when nawala yung project ko and everything, you know how it is, right?
Yeah.
Kapag wala ka nang ginagawa,
Hindi ka na relevant.
di ka na relevant. So, that happened. In fact, there was a time uwi ako ng Pilipinas. Oy, pwede ba ako tumugtog dyan? Wala kaming slot eh.
Grabe, no?
Pwede. Yeah, wala eh. Hindi pwede. But these are the same people that during my heyday,
Oh, punta ka rito.
no, sali naman ako dyan. Ay,
Sila,
can I present? Wala naman akong problema eh. Sabihin na, okay, game, tara, sali kita, singit kita. Marami naman slot eh. But little things like, may gig kayo dyan, maliit lang naman yung bar. Wala raw slot.
Ouch.
3 times siguro yung nangyari, iba-ibang tao. So, I think you can relate to that, right?
Yeah.
Yung
A lot. A lot.
Nakatulong ka sa mga tao and then later on, who you na tawag nila, di ba?
How about this? Manood pa. I'm over it. But it hurt for a long time na
It did.
napanood mo lahat ng mga taong tinulungan mo and ini-interview sila, nakangiti ka, nanonood ka sa TV, ang dami nilang pinasasalamatan except
You. Okay. So, that's more of a bigger scene for you.
And alam mong ikaw ang prime mover nung taong yon na without you, walang ibang pasasalamatan yung taong yun.
Yeah. I have friends na na-release ko yung pangalan na sa Spotify through my labels. Obviously, that label is not just mine. May ka-partner akong dalawa.
But still.
But,
ang tanong dito, sino kumuha nung dalawang ka-partner mo?
Wala naman. Nandun din sila. Kaya lang, my partners chose to be, I don't want to say.
Okay.
So, basta okay naman kami ngayon. Nag-uusap na kami. Okay. But the labels are still there kasi the releases are in Spotify. I mean, there's a lot of releases there from Filipinos that you don't know. Even every year, naglalabas kami ng compilation called Le Boracay. Like, there's like 15 tracks there made by all Filipinos. So, it's in Spotify.
So, parang Now Music to every year may Volume 1,
back
Volume
then.
2.
Volume 1, back 2. Pero ngayon, wala na. So,
sayang yun, ang ganda, ha?
Yeah, kasi marami nakikinig and maraming following and all that stuff. I mean, that label became big and may mga nagkaroon.
Alam mo, sinabi ko during the break at sasabihin ko on the air, you should start your own podcast. Ako sinasabi ko na talaga.
It's all, kasi ang gusto ko ngayon, so presently, I'm turning 50 this year. Now I have to say that. I'm trying to avoid that.
Ako rin. Pareho tayo 1971 pala.
1971. Before I even turn 60, I mean, some musician versus DJ.
Yeah.
And DJ it's gonna be hard to be old and playing that. So ang goal ko ngayon, make music.
Why not?
So I have a few things that I'm planning.
Okay.
So obviously, nagsimula ako last year. If you noticed, nakakonect ako with Moy Ortiz.
The company.
Yeah, sa Facebook lang. Sabi ko,
bait na tao.
Yeah. Sir Moy, ako pala si Josh. Ganito. Sabi niya gano'n, Josh. I heard something from somebody from ganito. Sabi niya, nga eh. Hey, may nakita akong bago yung track ni Itchy Worms. Sabi ko gano'n. So nakilala ko rin si Chino Singson.
Okay.
Sabi ko gano'n, mag-remix ako. Oh yeah, we're coming out with a remix album. Nilabas nila yung Ibugi Mo Ako eh.
Right.
That was their homage to the VST group. Pinapakinggan ko yung storya nila like talagang yung when Just Nicolas was telling me, tinakpan niya yung drum.
Para ganun yung tunog. Yeah.
I mean, you understand that more than me. So,
tunog 70s. Yeah.
Tsaka wala sa metro.
Mm-hmm.
Talagang tunog 70s, right? Sabi ko, okay. Sabi ko, sir, pakinggan mo yung pesa ko. Some of these, ginawa ko matagal na. I haven't made a track for a long time. And I would love to make your track. Sabi ko gano'n. Sige, gawin natin. Kailan ba deadline? Normally sa releasing ng music and remixing, you have a deadline.
Yeah.
Like for example, 4 weeks lang deadline mo. 2 weeks lang minsan.
Yep.
Pero binigyan nila ako ng 4 weeks and I was lucky. Na tinapos ko yun bago mag-birthday ko. August yun last year. So, when they gave me the parts, obviously it wasn't perfect. Very meticulous ako eh. Sabi ko, ayoko nito, bigyan mo ako ng vocal parts na walang reverb, walang delay. I don't like that.
Dry lang talaga.
Yeah, dry lang. I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
So pinadala nila sa akin, pinakinggan ko. Ginamit ko lang yung string quartet doon, obviously the vocals, and a little bit of rhythm guitar ni Chino. So, synergy ko yun. I put my own chords, I put my own... Kasi, very fond ako ng early 2000 songs sa Philippines. Like those head candy stuff, di ba?
Yeah.
So, gumawa ako ng melody out of what they're doing, yun yung nilagay ko. And, it took me about like 2 weeks to clean it. Nung pinadala ko sa kanila yung, pakinggan nyo. Josh, ang ganda. Can we make it the care single nung remix album? Ang kasama ko si doon si Malek, gumawa siya ng remix. Si Jazz made his own remix. Si Moy made his own remix. Tsaka si MOD made his own remix. Kasi barkada niya yung mga taga... Anong show yun sa channel? Yung sila Jigueta.
Hindi ko alam.
Mayroon yung TV
okay,
show.
So si Noel to. Si Noel Macanaya.
Oo, si Noel Macanaya. So I was part of that. But I was lucky. Sabi na pinakinggan nila, sabi ni Chino sa akin, Josh, pinakinggan namin nila Jazz. We're gonna pick your single as the Carrier single. Carrier remix nung remix album. So
is it on Spotify now?
Yes,
or
it's been there for a year.
Okay, so ilalagay natin sa description para...
Yeah. So ibugi mo ako, baby. Kasi I make music ng house. Pag gumawa ako ng disco side, I call that balls of disco.
Okay.
Instead of disco balls. But yung other moniker ko is yung hot chocolate, whatever. Remix. So, yun, nilabas ko yung single, nilabas nila. It was fun. It's in Spotify.
And you do this sa bahay na?
Right. And I didn't rely on Sony kasi it was released under Sony Music. I did my own promotion. So, gumawa ako ng... May mga tools kasi online, apps and all that. You can pull a lot of metrics. Quality ako, di ba? I have a master's degree.
Yes.
Ginamit ko yung knowledge ko ron to pull the data. Marami mga companies nagko-compile ng data. How you get listeners and all that. No, I go to YouTube too, paano sila nag-algorithm para makakuha ng mga listeners. Pinag-aralan ko lahat yun. Although I spent money, maliit lang. If I spent more money, mas marami siguro makikinig. Maganda turnout, ha?
And you know what? Ang ganda na sinasabi mo because nung mga 2010, 2011, kaputukan ng simula ng big data.
Yeah. 20.
Right?
Pagka-crash din nung .com nun.
Right?
Yeah.
2010, 2011, biglang dun naging angulo yung big data, yung pagda-drop ng pixel and all that stuff
right.
to create the algorithm and okay,
so
go ahead.
Nung nagpo-promote ako nun, I used an app called Songstat. Okay. Kino-compile niya yung mga data from some stores online na data, including Spotify, yung mga stores. So, ginamit ko yon to study where to point the I was lucky actually, the track got the front promos dun sa Beatport, which is the biggest dance music digital store in the US. Meron siyang feature dun sa new disco genre ng dance music. So that was fun. Tapos in Spotify, obviously, it was there. And then, gumawa sila ng YouTube. Nilagay ko sa YouTube channel ko. Gumawa sila ng video. They have their own music video. Pero pinachap-chap ko lang sa Pilipinas yun. Ha? Meron akong kaibigan, mahilig gumawa.
Wait. Anong pinachap-chap mo sa Pilipinas? Yung video?
Yung video. Para gamit yung remix ko with the video.
Oh, okay. So yung specific vocal part, ito ilalagay dito.
Yung remix ko, di ba?
Yeah.
Ginamit niya yung original MTV para magamit ko yun on that remix. Kasi ang I gave him,
Anong shirt na yan?
No, there's a group of people na they're doing something online after the pandemic, yung 128 BPM page.
Okay.
So, they sent it to me.
Now, 128, yan ba ang standard ng EDM?
Na something like that on that BPM, that beats per minute. That's tempo.
Yeah.
It's the standard for EDM.
Okay.
Pero when you're producing disco or new disco, it's between 120 to 120.
You know what? As a drummer, hindi ko pinapansin yon until yun nga, nung nag-Ableton ako, pinag-aralan ko sina Calvin Harris
and all that.
Sina Avicii, sina Zed.
Yeah.
Sabi ko, oh my God, meron pala talagang tempo. Na sanay ang listeners.
So drummer ka, di ba?
Yeah.
So when I make music, there's house music na driving yung tunog, laid back.
Right.
Pag disco, alam mo naman,
yeah.
Tsaka yung metro, ang lineup ng kicks, medyo delay ng konti.
Delay na, kailangan ng,
A little delay, right?
Yes.
Para medyo laid back yung tunog. Ngayon kung driving, ifo-forward mo naman.
Konti lang,
Konting-konti, kasi you cannot be too, by sense lang. So that was really fun. Ngayon, naiintindihan ko yun eh. Pinag-aralan ko yun on my own. I didn't really learn that. So, I didn't really learn it from school actually. I learned it online too. But naintindihan mo yun kasi drummer ka.
And you know what? Sabi ko nga, me going into your world made me more aware to dissect my playing style. Kasi hindi naman ako flashy na player. Pero people dance to my beats.
Yeah, kasi you can follow yung original na tunog.
At you're right. I am able to push the beat forward when I need to
Drive it. Or laid back and
while
push it back.
still being on the tempo.
On the tempo. Oh. Yeah. So, even though I'm not a drummer. So, I mean, it's part of being a producer. But then again.
So talk about 128.
So, they're a collective group. Ano lang sila. They're very nice to me. I will shout out to Andrew William, the couple, si Lynette Riodica, tsaka si Joey Riodica, and then si Jefferson ko.
Kailangan pa namin ng 2 t-shirt dito.
So, anyway, going back, nasa na ba tayo?
Yun, sa tempo, sa project mo.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much, yung sinasabi mo is you doing you eh.
Yeah. So I was really lucky na mapili yung track.
Yeah.
I get to work with the Itchy Worms. Very nice people. Na kilala ko rin obviously si Wally Akolola ba yung, sorry Wally ha. But yun yung sila yung nag-produce. They're multi-awarded songwriters sa Pilipinas.
Right.
So, yun, nagawa ko. I met some of the online, I actually haven't met them. The company.
Kahit si Moy?
Yeah. We just talk on the phone and on Messenger. But in person I plan to pag uwi ko. Hindi pa kasi makauwi because of the quarantine. Yeah. So, but that was fun. In fact, I spoke to him this morning. 1-year anniversary nung track. So, ginawan, I don't know if I can announce that.
Yeah.
So, baka mayari tayo sa Sony.
Talaga?
Teka muna. So,
may NDA ka ba? Wala ka naman yata
wala akong NDA. So, pwede ba yun?
Oo naman, wala naman NDA.
I think Moy did his own version. I-re-release niya this coming out June 17. Yung 1-year anniversary na track. So, pinili niya yung single, yung remix ko, ni-rearrange lang niya. I-re-release nila. Anniversary release nung.
You mean July 17?
July 17.
Okay.
Sabi ko, July 17. So, yun, abangan nyo yun sa Spotify. It's his own version.
Lalagyan natin yung link sa description.
Yeah, it's gonna be coming out at Sony Music Philippines.
Ganun. So maybe, pag tinitingnan ko, baka naman there shouldn't be any regrets because what you did in terms of giving to the community first is necessary para walang masabi ang community now that you're doing you.
Exactly. And I said,
di ba? Parang
mas ngayon ang goal ko before I turn 60, at least I can put out more music na gusto ko. In fact, wala pa rin akong direction packs kung anong gusto ko music. House ba or disco? Actually,
maybe pareho.
Disco is very popular now. So I don't know if you've seen. I mean disco. Junji Marcelo produced this. Gumawa siya disco title Disco Beta.
Disco Beta.
Nakita ko
pero ikaw Balls of Disco.
Ha? Balls of Disco yung remix. Yun yung title ng remix ko lang.
Well, then Two Rivers ang dating, di ba?
Yeah.
Meron kang Balls of Disco, meron ka pang
yung house music side. Pero
ano naman ang pangalan ng house?
Yun nga yung dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. But dark chocolate?
Filipino. Dark chocolate. So, but right now, ang goal ko, pick some local singers here.
Good.
Work with them and make a track and feature them in Makati Nights. So, brother, you're always a guest of honor sa Makati. You tell me anytime you want to go, and the wife, JJ and everybody, just let me know. Pa lifetime na yun. Kung meron pa Makati Nights.
Bakit hindi, di ba?
So, well, obviously.
Pagdating natin na 16, bumaballroom na tayo sa mga Shona dancing, mga kung ano-ano.
Sabihin mo lang anytime punta.
Yeah.
So, may gagawin akong track with, ayoko na muna sabihin.
Bakit?
Ha?
Sabihin mo na.
Kasi win-workout ko pa eh.
Okay lang, sabihin mo na.
So, Belle Fujimura is gonna work with me on a track.
With Patrick or si Belle lang?
Si Belle lang.
Okay.
Yeah. Not Patrick yet. But that's what we're planning to do. In fact, I want her to sing some classics na gagawin kong version. Kukunin ko yung original stems para tunog pa rin yung original, but I will put my own flavor. Pakakantayin ko sa kanya live sa Makati Nights.
You know what, Josh? Come to think of it, no? Andito si Nabuwi Meneses, ng parokya ni Edgar, di ba? Robin Rivera, anak ni Martin, intro voice. Ang dami mong talent dito eh.
Yeah, actually, gusto kong kumuha ng maggigitara rin minsan. Kasi, you know, I'm not very well-versed sa music scene.
Right.
But for example, if I need somebody who can do a rhythm guitar for me na background, and sasabihin ko, ito yung tunog na gusto ko, or magpa-play lang live bass na funky, kaya ba ng gitarista yun?
Yeah.
Hindi ko kasi alam.
Actually, kaya ni JJ lahat ng sinasabi mo.
Si JJ.
Huwag ka lang tutulugan, Brad. Pero kaya niya lahat ng lahat.
Kaya lang may particular ako sa tunog ng gitara.
Yeah.
Obviously, hindi ako well-versed dun sa mga model. Alam ko lang, Les Paul ba tawag doon?
Yeah.
So, something like that, for example. Pero Strat is a very... I like the sound.
Si Robin is a Strat player, guitar player. Ginagamit siya ni DJ Rocky.
Okay.
So,
to perform live?
No, to record.
Meron ba silang pyesa?
May ilalabas silang pyesa. Yeah. So you can use Robin. Nandito si Robin.
Yeah, kasi especially sa disco, disco parts really like guitars and strings.
Paano mo sinabing kailangan mo si Nile Rodgers?
Oh, yeah. Something like that. Very popular.
Oh my God, di ba?
Yeah. So, but you know, if I can work with them, why not? I would
si Vic Carpio ng intro voice is very good at that also.
Oh, okay. So, I would like to work with the group. Like I said, brother, matagal na natin pinaplano yun, di ba? Gumawa tayo ng disco track.
Tingnan mo, if we did that nung 2017 or 2018, it was the wrong lineup of intro voice. Okay. I think everything happens for a reason. Ngayon, you have the all original members of the band.
Nandito na. And we can make music. And you can perform live with it.
Di ba? Mas may mas authentic.
In fact, I got into the UAD universe.
Really?
Yeah.
Akala ko may kilala ka sa loob?
No, what I'm saying is...
Hindi. So wala ka pa kilala.
Wala pa akong kilala.
Sabi mo sa akin, dahil...
Right.
Makikiray doon ako ng discount.
Pero brother, ang dami kong plugins ng UAD, hindi ko nagagamit ngayon. Bumili pa ako ng satellite so that I can run all those plugins at the same time.
Okay.
So, going back, I'm a gearhead, you know.
Okay, so ibig sabihin, bibili lang ako ng Apollo, tapos hingin ko na sa iyo mga plugin mo.
We can talk about that.
Oh, sige.
Meron akong plugin, di ko nga ginagamit.
Oh my God.
Like,
yung mga 1060, di ba nandun na 10? Ano yung compressor ng ano?
1076?
1076.
Yeah. Well, 1156.
1076.
Tapos, ano pa ba yung mga nandun? So, I have the... I have Ocean Way. Meron ako nun.
Lahat na binabanggit mo, ginagamit mo, hindi mo ginagamit.
Hindi ko pa nagagamit.
Nagagamit. Okay.
Oo, gusto kong gamitin now.
Ba't di mo gamitin?
Yun nga, meron akong alam mo yung distressor?
Yeah.
So I have a distressor. Bumili pa akong dalawang plugin ng distressor magkaiba. One distressor yung UAD for the bass. One for the sing.
Alam mo, pwede panoorin ni Genevieve lahat itong pinag-uusapan natin, di ba? Yung word na binili mo sa utak ng asawa mo. Okay.
Actually, you write it off in your business.
Okay, yan ha.
You write that off in your business. Because you can write it off if you're in that, diba?
Dito ba nakaregister yung business mo sa Pilipinas? Dito. Okay, good.
So, and, you know, gusto ko maging unique yung Makati Nights. Alam mo naman, Makati Nights is more retro.
Yeah.
And pay homage to yung music of the... Kasi ang music sa Pilipinas, era-era, diba? 90s kagaya nyo.
Yeah, alam mo ba ang VST nandito naka-based?
I didn't even know that.
Kailangan natin i-hook up ikaw kay Spanky Rigor kay Roger Rigor.
Sige, tingnan natin.
Alam mo yun, EDM or Balls of Disco yung...
Balls of Disco siguro. Na medyo modern
diba? Yung exactly.
Yeah. So...
kita mo?
Daming project. So, going back... Sabi, JJ?
Ewan ko, tulog yan.
So, you know, gusto kong gumawa ng disco. So, like I said, ang first project ko si Bel. May pinakanta ko sa kanya. Nung una niya kinanta, ayaw ko, Josh. You know, ayaw mo kasi hindi mo genre.
Right.
Nirecord niya kahapon sa Logic the other day. Tinulungan siya ni Patrick. Sabi ko, you nailed it. Yung vocal range na, I like.
There you go.
So, ready na ako. I'm working on the first classic song na kakantahin niya pag live. And then gagawa na ako ng single na i-release ko. Kasi I have 5 labels right now. Kaya kung gagawa tayo ng pyesa, mamili ka lang kung saan mo gusto i-release.
Oh, sige.
And I have my tools to promote it. It's part of my distributor deal. Kumbaga, you don't have to worry about releasing it.
You know what? I appreciate your passion because we need more people like you.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Sabi ko, ano tayo ecosystem di ba? We
Yeah.
need to build an ecosystem.
Even though we're DJs and the band scene, we're united by music.
How about this? Yung isang kanta namin sa intro voice, yung Let's Dance. Akala namin ang ganda ng mix and all. Binigay namin kay DJ Muff, kay Arvin. Aberilla. Sabi ko, Vin, patugtugin mo. Pinatugtog namin sa kasal ni John Loveres ng Brown Edition. Tsaka ni Rachel Loveres.
Right.
Pagsampa nung kanta, ang nipis ng mix.
Saan? Dun sa...
Kami. So,
okay.
doon namin na-realize na JJ, dito natin kailangan yung, at least yung kick may 808 or something.
Yeah.
May sub sa part.
Right.
Kasi, wala kaming low frequency. Wala kaming below 100 na bumabato sa
speaker?
Oo. Dahil
Walang sa bass yung...
wala kaming nilagay na gano'n.
Okay.
Kasi, drums
So, walang lumalabas doon?
Wala. Ibig
Manipis.
sabihin, manipis.
Okay.
Back to the drawing board. So, doon pa lang nagagamit namin si Arvin na, paano nga, pasal niya nga nito and all that.
Kasi, normally sa dance music producer, yung regular producer na gumagawa ng kanta,
Pwedeng wala.
pag gumawa sila ng dance music sa Pinas, they're not like me that I can test it on the big speakers pag gumawa ng dance kasi alam ko yung tunog ng dance dahil DJ ako
Yes.
Right? Hindi nila tinetest yun. Kami, we do. Like what you did with Arvin.
Dapat ganun
Alam ni Arvin sabihin sa'yo, Pax, manipis.
Manipis.
Yeah. Ako kasi alam ko dahil tinetest ko
Oh, kasi wala ka below 100. So talagang walang pupunta
Walang pupunta. Yeah. So, importante yon.
Yep.
So that's why very natural yung paggawa ng pyesa. In fact, may mga producer na nagsimulang mag-DJ na
para lang maintindihan nila
yung partner. Like for example, Brian Kua.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he's very successful then with what he's doing now.
Ano natin yun Kaidaran natin yun. Kabatch natin.
Brian is a nice guy, by the way, and a very good producer. Very popular with, and a lot of the jingles sa commercials na napapakinggan.
Sila ni na Vicky Casas.
Exact, si Vicky Casas. Vicky Casas was supported by Emax too.
Galing, no?
Yeah, so nung time na yun. Kasi nung dinala ko yung Isotope guy, he went there and attended it. So that was fun. Anyway, going back.
Si Brian Kua,
he came from a producer background who went to the DJ background. Baliktad sa akin, I'm from a DJ background who went to the producer background. So there's nuances din there, differences.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Doon ko nga lang na-realize na, okay, ang ganda.
And he's a musician because he plays
keyboards. Minix niya yung isang version ko ng Line to Heaven.
Yeah.
That was his, and yung pamaya after the show, paparinig ko yun.
Pwede ba akong gumawa ng version mo nun?
Yeah.
Nasa yung original step?
Wala. Kailangan ko kantahin. I'll sing it na lang again.
Bakit? Nasa label?
Nasa label.
Ayaw lang ibigay?
No, nung panahon na yun, ang Line to Heaven was recorded on 16...
Doesn't matter. Pwede pa rin mo
Hindi. Walang nagtatago ng master. Pagkatapos nun,
oh my God.
gagamitin yun ng next artist. Burado na
Hindi
yun.
na save?
Hindi uso di ba, Jay? Walang gano'n.
Sayang naman yun. That's gold.
Hindi pala 1632. Ano ba yung 16, yung makapal, 32, no? 24 or 32, something like that.
So, Pax, ayaw ko kasi nung original song lalagyan ng beat and then that's it. I don't want that.
Stems maganda.
Stems and original na nagagawan ko na,
Kakantayin ko na lang.
You wanna do that?
Yeah.
May time ka ba?
Meron.
Okay. Ang dami nating project.
What?
Nauna. So, anyway, yun yung, I enjoy to connect with you and everybody kasi music, even though we're from a different scene, the DJ and the
kailangan,
band
ang magbe-benefit dito yung tao
Yeah.
Di ba? And at the same, parang yung ginawa ni Travis Barker at saka ni DJ
track.
DJ AM ba?
AM pala.
Yeah, si DJ AM,
Yeah.
di ba? That was nice. Talagang yung crossover nila.
Crossover nila.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to work with ng mga musicians na, yung mga, even the rock, yung mga rock scene.
Right.
If they're open to it. Obviously, I cannot make rock. The most I can, hindi ko mapapatunog ng yun Kasi
Maybe hindi naman kailangan Maybe kailangan lang ng flavoring
Yeah.
Okay, now, ilanding natin. With your family that's growing, your regular day job that's thriving. Nakita mo yung sinabi ko?
You're right. Hindi ko napansin yun, brother. Pero,
okay. Anyway.
and
and your labels that are developing.
Yeah. And Makati Nights.
And Makati Nights pa, dahil post-pandemic.
Right.
Ano ang ma-expect pa natin sa'yo? Ito na ba to? O
Hindi pa.
hindi pa?
No. So like I said, I need to come up with music. I want to do that. May nilalapitan din ako mga big name artists sa Philippines. May lulutuin ako, may iniisip ako eh. Gusto ko lapitan si ganitong artist. Hey, yung mga classic mo, labas natin. May mga friends ako dito na mga Pilipino. Like for example, one, si Mike Freak, he's based in Baltimore. He just made music with Crystal Waters.
Wow. Speaking of which, speaking of music making, I have to tell you, the owner of that chair, the original owner of that chair you're seated on, tawag namin dyan the Hitmaker chair.
Okay.
Si Vince Nantes ang may-ari niyan. In case you don't know who Vince Nantes is, he wrote the song Black Swan for BTS.
Wow.
While sitting on that chair.
My God, this is
Kaya Hitmaker chair. Siya ang kanang kamay ni Apple the app for the longest time, and then he left Apple. May podcast siya. We'll post the link in the description. Okay. Ganda ng journey niya. Maganda. Very humble person. Very inspiring din.
yung story niya.
Oh, madami tayong mapupulot sa kanya because you remind me of him dahil yung pagiging sigurado, desidido, consistent, at saka hindi natatapos yung iniisip. Kita mo, binagbanggit na ako ng 4 dito and you're well established dito sa mga nabanggit ko, and yet ang sinabi mo sa akin, meron ka pang naiisip na gagawin.
Yeah, may ideas pa ako. Ang problema lang talaga is time. Time.
Something has to go.
Right. So, yung record label has to take a backseat. Yung building it and putting it, wala. I will pursue my music, making music more. Yun ang goal ko ngayon. And perform.
Right.
Kasi it's important eh. So, Makati Nights is there. I don't want it to make like, for example, you're attending Makati Nights. I know a lot of you are supporting and following it. I don't want you to just go there and listen and papakinggan mo lang yung Buttercup and all that. In fact, if you listen to my set there, when I play my fast songs, ang unang marinig mo sa akin is Personal Jesus, not Buttercup. But
bakit?
You have to attend.
Mode? Okay.
You have to attend to hear that set.
Is that okay? Okay.
Kasi,
na-intriga naman ako. Sige.
Yeah, so hindi bakya. Marinig mo yun. But anyway, the same time, like for example, Belle's gonna join our team and she's gonna go live. She will sing a classic. You will hear the original stems ng track. So you will think it's original, right?
Right.
Then may enjoy mo yung track. Kasi it sounded like yung
Correct.
yung original, for example, yung original cowbell, halimbawa lang, nandun sa track. And you will know that's a track of that song. It's live.
Correct.
So hindi it's not a cover version. It is a cover version, but
kumbaga, binigyan ng effort to.
oo.
Para hindi man angkinin, pero ganun na rin, to take ownership of the song.
Right. But she will sing it live on my own version with some of the elements of the original track, and she will sing it live in front of a crowd. Para lang may iba. Hindi yung pupunta lang sila doon, makakarinig lang si DJ magpe-play ng ganito and that. Obviously, we have our usual guests who were used to be big DJs in their heydays in the Manila club backs, Makati nightclubs back then. And then, gagawa kami ng pyesa. And then, put it out. So, abangan nyo yun.
When will everything stop? When will you settle down?
Siguro when I turn 60. Pero magdi-DJ pa rin ako kasi you can still play music. But, I mean, it's hard to be like 60 years old and think people are...
Pero you know what, kaya ako natutuwa sa mga sinasabi mo. You paid your dues.
Yeah.
You made sacrifices.
In life, which...
To get to where you are. To secure your family. And now you're able to do this.
Right.
Advice for our listeners and viewers na confused kung ano ang dapat nilang gawin sa buhay nila. Nagsa-start pa lang.
Obviously, people have their own... If they get into art, it's their passion, right? Diba? I probably would think if I made the leap of faith there, I could have probably did well too. Kaya lang, obviously, it's different if it's in the Philippines and here, right? So, there was a time where I regret na hindi ko ginawa yun. Kasi a lot of people say, pag nag-leap sila, when they did it, they did not look back and they were right in what they did. At some point, I had that, but I think where I'm at now, I think everything fell into place. Na, after all that things that I've gone through, okay na rin yung nangyari. Now, actually, it's coming in now.
Sarap, no?
Right. Na hindi mo in-expect before. Yeah. So, if no matter what path you chose, kumbaga, at some point, magagawa mo pa rin yung gusto mong gawin. Whether it's, like 20 years after when you first started, something like that. Kagaya nung ngayon. Although I'm not the most successful person, hindi ko naman maputa.
Says who?
No, bro, I mean...
Subjective yung sinabi mong yun eh.
So, what I'm saying is, that's true. Pero, ibig ko sabihin, like in the music side, I still want to put out new music.
Yeah.
Especially want to collab with big names.
And ginagawa mo naman, di ba?
Right. So...
Successful.
Yeah, successful. At some point, anybody who's gonna be Oo nga, no? At some point, anybody who wants to do it, it will come.
Amen.
Kumbaga darating din. You just, obviously, you have to go through that sacrifices.
Yun yung keyword eh. No?
Yeah.
Yun ang takeaway ko sa'yo eh. Yung sacrifice talaga is real eh.
Those are really essential to get to where you are.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've gone through like everybody else. Even us Filipinos living here, we're all immigrants. We went through those things.
Right.
The good, the bad, and all that. So, at the end, everything turned out well. So, I think you can take that. Whatever path you choose should be good.
Galing. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause, Josh Evangelista.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Pax.
Josh. God bless you. Ang sarap.
Thanks, Jay.